If you tell me where we're streaming, I can post it out a little.
We're
If you
streaming
tell me
on
where we're
Twitch.
streaming, I can post it out a little.
We're
If you
streaming
tell
Am
me
I
on
where
allowed
we're
to use
Twitch.
streaming, I can
expletives?
post it out a little. If you
Ish?
tell
Am
me
I
where
allowed
we're
to use
streaming, I can
expletives?
post it out a little.
Ish? Am I allowed to use expletives?
Post it out a little.
Ish? Am I allowed to use expletives? 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 Oh, is it playback from your stream? Oh, is it playback from your stream? Yeah, usually it'll feed through your speakers.
Okay. Alright. I have a little helper here to figure out Twitch with me. Hi everybody, welcome. This is the one-shot I have written especially for this fabulous group of people new to D&D. Throughout the week, we learned how to play. We learned like terminology and stuff, some rules, and they walked through classes they were interested in, and we built characters together. So, yeah, let's get started. All right. After a formidable journey by foot, this unlikely band of adventurers has found themselves in Theldan, the capital of the Erobrag kingdom. Surrounded by dwarves, the party stood out in the crowd. Children and curious adults asked them about their conquests and if they would tell them stories. Their bard was all too happy to oblige. After hearing about their heroics, the innkeeper of the Nine Knights Inn invited them to stay free of charge if they would continue to entertain her guests. After a long night of drinking, celebrating, and the telling of stories, the party went to their rooms and took a much-needed rest. A hefty knock on the door awakens the party prematurely. Hertha, the innkeeper at the Nine Knights Inn, stands at the door with a scroll in her hand. Her red hair shows signs of graying, but is pulled back in a tight braid. Her green eyes are weary from work, but full of strength. She is wearing her apron. I'm sorry to wake ye. The king's guard gave me this. It's for ye lot. They said it was urgent.
What is it?
Message from the king. It reads, Brave adventurers, ye have been summoned by his majesty King Rumford to the castle Erobrag immediately. Do make haste. Well, I wonder what that's all about. Will ye be wanting any breakfast this morning? I know it's urgent, but breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I don't like kings, so this is up to you guys.
Maybe we should get something to go. Eat on the road.
I can make some toast.
That would be lovely.
Toast
Thank
sounds
you.
great.
Toast is perfect.
Toast.
All right.
Toast is great. Sure.
She hurries downstairs, and soon the aroma of toasted bread penetrates your nostrils. As you go downstairs and she hands you your toast, you can see King's Guard are waiting at a table, seemingly for you. One of them stands up. He has a really full red beard. He says, Right then, we've been sent to escort you. The other one stands up and is like, This way, please.
Is there anything off about these guys? Or
One of them looks like he really doesn't want to be there, and the other one seems super excited to be meeting you guys.
Can I approach these guys and ask them if this is something that they wanted to do or if this was something that they have to do?
You definitely can.
Cool. I'd like to ask them, are you guys here because you want us to help you, or are you here because there's something bad going on and you don't want to do it?
All right, the guy with the full red beard, he leads in and he says, My name's Gordon. There's something about the princess. She's missing or something. The king, he's very upset. This is so exciting. This is the most exciting thing that's happened since I worked for the king. And the other one kind of like slaps him in the stomach. He's like, Shut up, would you?
Oh. Well, if it's a princess, I'm always down to find the ladies. Got her. 100%. I volunteer as tribute.
The one with the red beard, like, he like looks really excited that you've agreed to come. He's like, Right then, follow me.
I forgot about the other guys, though.
Yes, if I may ask briefly, why do we need an escort? I'm sure we can find our way.
And the one that slapped the other one in the stomach is like, King Erobrag doesn't have much patience. He was worried that you might take your time. This is a pressing matter. And he walks out.
Oh,
the other one is like, I'm sorry about him. He's old to the job. I'm new.
Is our toast ready?
Is that toast ready?
Hertha comes out and is like, alright then, make sure you eat it. It's very important to have breakfast. And she hands you each 2 pieces.
Is there anything shady about these toasts? Because now I'm starting to get confused.
You can make an insight check if you'd like.
I will make an insight check.
Alright.
Please, I'm not smart.
So, an insight check would be rolling your d20, and then in the middle of your character sheet, at the top it says, like, acrobatics, animal handling, all of that. Insight will be kind of towards the middle there, and whatever number is on the right, that's what you'll add to your roll.
Okay.
He's rolling.
Mm-hmm. Did you click? Oh, there we go. Oof.
Oh, terrible perception.
Well,
all right.
It's a good thing that I have a +0 to insight, because that really will help.
It looks like she's just really wanting you to eat this toast. She thinks you need fiber in your diet, and she likes making toast.
I'm a big guy. I need fiber. Sure.
I'm already munching away, so no worries.
Barbarian did the insight check.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys let me do that. Okay.
Well,
maybe we should just grab our toast and go.
I already ate it.
The guard with the full red beard is waiting excitedly by the door for you guys to follow him.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna give him one of my pieces of toast. So if we die, he dies with us.
He like, you hold it out to him. He kind of looks. He's like, is the other guy watching? He's like, thank you very much. I don't get much food on the job. And he kind of like just scarfs it down.
Oh wait, he's dying with us if anything bad happens.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm walking out the door.
All right.
I'm following.
I got little legs. I'm just jumping on the barbarian's back.
Perfect.
Because I don't feel like walking.
Perfect. As the guards lead the party through the city to Castle Erobrag, the buildings start to get bigger and sturdier, and the people are dressed a lot nicer. The streets are cleaner. There are no beggars in the street. The courtyard... Let me just move you guys over there. Has been freshly trimmed with orange trees, non-native to this kingdom, likely hand-picked by the picky king. There are 2 dwarvish statues that depict King Rumford in his past legendary battles. One depicts the siege of Theldan, the current city, formerly known as Ilkrig before it was conquered, and the Battle of Granger. Now, Marleman, you speak Goblin, correct?
Yes, I do.
So you recognize that Ilkrig, which was the former name of Theldan, is a Goblin word. That's all I will tell you.
Okay.
As you pass by, 2 women dressed in servants' clothes are polishing the statues. The Castle Erobrag seems out of place in this city. It is large and extravagant. A regular gate with colossal wooden doors, a drawbridge, and a various artillery equipment. It protects those in need of aid in this rough mountain pass. But it's not the only way in, which fortunately only very few know. The guards look around, make sure no passers-by are watching, before pushing a seemingly normal stone and recovering a hidden door inside the castle. The door leads directly to the throne room. It just takes a second to move you guys. To the throne room, filled with gold and red, with large tapestries and a large throne at the front. A squire, dressed in fancy, puffy red and gold clothes, stands and announces, "His Majesty, King Rumford." The guards and the squire immediately kneel as King Rumford, just this huge black beard, he has ale stuck in his beard, he just saunters right out to sit on the throne. Her Majesty, Queen Wendell. Queen Wendell is dressed in a beautiful gold dress. Her hair is pulled back in a bun. She is very solemn in her demeanor. She just walks out and sits beside the king. He says, "All right then, please rise. I take it you got my note. It's my dear daughter, Princess Zephrine. We found this in her bedroom this morning." It reads, "We have the princess. Give us back our land or you will never see her again." And it has a stick figure crossed out. It says King Rumford, who is apparently a loser.
Oh, it just had to be goblins, didn't it? Just had to be goblins. God.
Or 5-year-olds.
Or 5. Well, yeah, they're same mentality.
They've been a real pain in the arse since I've been king. Tribe of goblins led by Krug the Brave. The kingdom of Erobrag has done nothing but expand naturally, and they've terrorized locals with their arson, profanity, defacing public property, and stealing. Disgusting, the lot of them. But this is crossing the line. She's just a child. The queen starts to cry softly. "Find the Dread-Eye crew. Find and rescue my daughter. I will pay you handsomely for it. And if you can manage to take care of the Dread-Eye crew in the process, I'll pay you double. Their very existence is a threat to this kingdom. Thank you for your time. Squire, give them anything they require for this mission." He rises and exits.
Anything. Can we just figure out why everyone else has a red beard and he only has a black? He's the only one with a black beard
So far, that you've seen.
so far. Just
Maybe that's why he's king. They all were like, "Whoa."
He dyed his hair black and became king. That's what I need to do.
Maybe
Can I-
his hair was going white, so he just dyed it black.
That's possible too. Possible as well.
Back in the kingdom days, Nivea for men.
Right? Just in case.
So the squire saunters over to you and is like, "Right then, how may I help you?"
Is there anything that seems off about this note?
I was just going to ask if I could investigate it.
No more barbarian checks. No.
Okay, fine.
I mean, it looks like the first part of the note was written very carefully and that someone got a hold of it and doodled all over it before it got sent out.
Okay.
So you're
So
saying
there might be an inside job.
Possibly. I don't know.
Or they could have forced the daughter to write it.
That is pretty princessy handwriting. I mean,
It is written in common, which, I mean, although goblins can speak common, I don't know how well they can write it.
can we ask the squire what he has that he can give us?
Sure.
Just you say anything. What does anything pertain to, so that I know what I can get from you?
Right. Well, we have plenty of armor and simple weapons. Lots of good food. Perhaps some ale, if that would interest you. And he gestures to the barbarian as he says that. King Rumford has an obsession with swords, so we have plenty if you need any. Just about any sort of normal adventuring stuff you might need. Although matters of arcane, we don't have much of those.
Got any
What-
bagpipes?
I can certainly look for you. I do a bit
Love
of
If you
bag.
find them, don't.
he looks at Kane and then back at Benjamin and is like, "Right then, I do a bit of bagpipe playing myself. I can certainly look for you, but I have no promises.
Squire, what can you tell us about the lands to which we're journeying?
Well, you'll be journeying through the forest. It's called the Stormy Grove, although I don't know why it got that name. It's quite lovely, actually. We have reason to believe that there is a goblin hideout in the forest. Goblins used to live on the land that we are currently, but they come out of the forest whenever they do their terrible, whatever you want to call it. So we have reason to believe they have a hideout of some kind in the forest.
Is there a spot in the forest that locals will usually avoid?
Well, we usually like to stick to the road that we've made. It's kind of a crude road out of sand and dirt, but we usually like to stick to the road because we know that there are goblins in the forest.
What kind of animals are in the forest?
Well, there can be birds or rodents. I myself have never been. I've only been to look at the forest as the guards enter, but I've seen a great many squirrels and canaries even. I quite like the sound of the birds, but I've never been inside, so I'm probably not one to give good information about the contents of it.
If I may direct you back to something you mentioned, you said you don't have many arcane items, but what might you have available?
Well, I don't know if it's arcane or if it's just weird, but we've had some... let me take a look for you. And he's kind of like sweating a little bit because he usually doesn't get flustered in his job talking to people. That's like his job. But he doesn't really know what to say to you. And he goes through the curtains. The guards are standing in the back. The one with the red beard is kind of just like fiddling with his sword. And the other one is just like standing with that I don't want to be here demeanor. And he comes back and he says, well, I can't seem to find it, but I did find bagpipes for you.
Yes! Thank you.
And he says, I don't know why you would need it to fight goblins, but whatever you need, the king said, so here you go. He
Need a
hands them to
serenade.
you.
Can I pull him to the side and ask him why he's sweating? Like, what's up, man? Like, you doing okay? You look a little flustered. You all right? You want to sing a little bit later? Let's play some bagpipes.
While he does that, can I take the other guy that doesn't look like he wants to be here and see if he wants to go and play some dice or something?
Yeah, sure. All right, so we'll stick with the squire really quick. He wipes his forehead and he's like, ever since his daughter went missing, the king has been so rude to me. Usually when I sing, he gets so much happier, but he's been yelling at me and just upset. We had some glowing sword or whatever, but I can't find it. If he thinks I lost it, he'll have my head. I'm starting to think I don't want this job anymore, if you know what I mean. As you approach the guard, he is looking at you. He's like, what?
You want to go play some dice while they finish getting everything ready to go?
He kind of looks around. He's like, you gamble?
Yeah, I've got a little bit on me. I don't see the problem in tossing a coin or two down.
Follow me. Kind of takes you to one of the, let's go back to the throne room really quick. There's 2 chairs off to the right. You can't see it, but there's a table in the middle of them. He kind of takes you off to the side there so you can play some dice. The other guard kind of follows to watch. He's like, he doesn't understand the rules though, so he just kind of lost on him, but he's excited to seem like he is involved.
Well, I play some dice with him and try and get what little information I can from him about this whole situation.
All
Seems
right.
like a glowing sword went missing along the same time the daughter did. So.
Would you like to make a performance check to see how well you do in your dice game?
Sure. This is okay.
That is right underneath perception on your table in the middle. All right. Well, he won.
Yeah.
He won your little game. He pockets your few coins. He says, "Thank you." And the information he gave you is that he is tired of the princess. He seems to everything's about the princess. The princess did this, the princess did that, and he's honestly fed up with this, as he says it, babysitting job.
Understandable. Soldiers should be doing more serious work.
Right? Thank you for the game. Very enjoyable. You kind of see a
Tell you again when we come back.
little smile that seems out of place on his face. The squire says, "Right then, well, can I get you anything else before you go?"
Really bummed out that the king isn't happy with his music anymore. It kind of makes me want to sing with the squire, kind of get him to cheer up a little bit. But that's just personalized, internalized for now. Really want to play these bagpipes really bad, but
The
we
squire,
have to go find her.
You and the squire have like a little music bro moment.
We're dudes.
In your conversation, you talked about your history of the bagpipes, how you started playing. You guys have a lot in common, so you might be buddies after this if it goes well. Who knows?
Both hate goblins.
Perfect. So,
Well,
oh, sorry, yeah?
Squire, before you outfit us with some basic weapons and supplies for the journey, I was wondering, and here I'd like to cast thaumatology
Uh-huh.
and make my eyes turn black. If there's anything you can tell me further about this sword.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay, and so what do I do?
So you'll roll a d20,
Okay.
and then on your character sheet, so that is, because you have +1, that is a 15 intimidation check. So this little squire, he's kind of shaking in his boots a little bit. He's like, "I'm sorry, I don't know anything about it, just that it glowed. It wasn't my job to watch it, but all I can tell you is that it was here, it was weird, it was glowing, and now it's gone. I don't know, I'm so sorry." And he looks like he's bracing himself for you to hit him, even. He's like, kind of,
Very good, thank you.
"Right then. Thank you. Do you need anything else?"
Are we already carrying weapons?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's safe to assume, not that we'll get too much into this, but if your spells, whoever has magic, require material components, those are provided, so that you have no trouble with your magic throughout the adventure.
Awesome.
Nice.
Now I think we should just get started.
Yeah, can we leave? This king is really bumming me out.
Yeah.
Who's carrying the ale?
Probably.
I've got the bagpipes. We're
probably
good.
Garin, he probably has the ale.
Very good.
So, the guards point you in the direction of the forest. The one with the red beard kind of is like, "Bye! Good luck!" Another one is like, "I hope to play dice with you again, if you survive." And just
I
like,
have no doubt I'll be back.
walks back.
Stop using our gold, though.
I'll win it back.
Okay.
So, you approach the forest. I have this. This is a little crude forest map that I put together. The
That's
stormy.
the princess.
Oh yeah, that's the princess. The Stormy Grove Forest doesn't seem to live up to its name. It's bright and full of life. The sound of a woodpecker is met by the soft rustling the branches of trees as squirrels and other such rodents go about their daily routine. The soft sound of a trickling stream and the swaying of leaves in the wind give a sense of calm and peace while walking through the forest. there is a man-made path of dirt and sand that is minimally invasive to the forest around it. How are we traveling? The path is only wide enough for two to walk side by side. So, how would you like to travel through the forest?
I still see the hostage letter on the roll 20.
Did I not successfully move? Oh, I moved it to the wrong one. Sorry about that. Here it is.
You good?
Can you see it now?
Well, yeah. I'm
Perfect.
small enough, and I'm already chilling on the barbarian's back, so
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Who wants to lead the group?
I can lead.
Okay.
I feel real at home in the forest, so
Great.
And I like to see what happens.
So
I can
would
walk up
you
there with him.
like to be behind him, next to him?
I'll be behind.
Okay. And then maybe Garin with Ben on his back in the back.
Sure.
All right, great.
I didn't even ask if I could go on your back. I just hopped on there. Personal space. This is not social distancing.
Yeah, no sense of personal space. No sense.
He's going to use me as a weapon. I just know it.
I am.
All right.
Feel free to use the bagpipe as a weapon at any point.
Oh yeah.
Leave Nessie alone. Nessie has done nothing to you.
Existing
so
is sufficient.
You travel with no issue for about an hour. You see, like, sometimes squirrels skitter about the path. You see a bird. You hear rustling, but not any that would be cause for concern. Probably just branches in the wind. After about an hour, though, Marleman, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
all right. And which one do I roll for that?
That is the D20. And then you will add your perception, which you actually have a +4.
All right.
Wow, that is fantastic. So, as you're walking around, like a couple steps after this little hill-looking thing to the mid-right, you hear rustling that is a little more than the wind.
Okay. Let's see. So can we just stop for a second and try and figure out what's going on?
You definitely can. You can
Okay.
either look for yourself, you can tell everyone else, you can keep walking and hope it was just
We'll
your
stop
wits.
and I'll let everyone know. I'll just say, hey guys, I hear something moving over in the off to the right of the path here. Does anyone see anything?
I'll draw weapons.
Okay.
And take a look.
Oh, I'm getting off. Nope.
Okay. All right.
That didn't need to be said. I just shrug you off. And then draw.
Ah!
As you guys are situating, you hear like crude little like war cries, but they're not loud enough to be threatening. And then you see 4 flashes of green as 4 little goblins run out from this hill, and they try to ambush you, but you all knew they were coming. They like kind of jump to try to steal your weapons. They try to grab your bag, see if there's any food. Roll for initiative, which is the term that we use to determine battles. So on your character sheet, you should see next to your armor class, it'll say initiative. And this is how we determine the turn order of encounters or fights. So what you're going to want to do is roll a d20, and then, is that total or your bonus?
That's just, it says +3. I'm
Okay,
guessing that's 15.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Yeah. So go ahead and roll a d20, and then you'll get to add your initiative bonus to what you roll. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice. So we have, and you have +3, you said?
Yeah.
Wow, we got some nice rolls in here, everybody. Okay,
I have a 10 plus 3, so 13.
great. So,
I'm a +1, so that's 9.
okay. So we have...
And I'm +0.
Yeah.
You don't even need a.
No.
You're already there.
And then,
Is it bad that I forgot what all my powers do?
No, we can review. It's okay.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to roll for Le Goblins. That was pretty good. Okay, pretty good. So first is Kane. You were traveling behind Marleman. The goblins kind of tried to like encompass you. So there's one in front of Marleman, one next to you, one next to Ben, and one behind Garin.
Okay. I would like. Sorry, now I have to look through all my things and. Sorry. I may just, because I don't have any great.
You have
sorry.
Warhammer.
Right, and I was just looking through my spells, but yeah, I'll just do a regular old attack.
Okay.
And then I roll a D20.
D20 to hit first.
Oh, okay. Awesome sauce.
All right. So as you do not hit. As you bring your warhammer down to try to hit him, this little goblin is just dexterous and just like just whooshes out of the way. Which brings us to Ben.
Oh
and
God!
There is
Here
one
we go.
right next to you.
Hey, what's up? Come here often. Let's see. Oh man, I can completely brain
Try
fart
to
all.
seduce a goblin. I'm gonna roll initiative.
I'm saving my seduction for later.
I should have just grabbed his bagpipes and tried to hit the goblin.
I just used my bagpipes.
Yep. Improvised weapon.
Yeah, there we go. Oh God, where's my powers? Where are my abilities? I remember they're somewhere over here. Okay. I'm going to. Okay, I forgot what my good powers were.
What so you have. So this is a few things that you can do. You have a vicious mockery cantrip, so you can just make the goblin feel really bad about themselves, and it will like cause danger to their brain. You have Bane, which is a kind of spell that would make the goblins have to roll a d4 and subtract that from their attack rolls or saving throws. You have Hellish Rebuke, which if they don't make their saving throw, they can take 2d10 fire damage. And I believe you should have did we do starting equipment with you?
I think I have
here, I think we need to. So you should also have either a rapier or a longsword. Which one would you like?
Ooh,
you can choose between the two.
A rapier.
All right. And then an entertainer's pack and a loot. So if we add those, great.
All right, I'm totally going to do on my character sheet.
Yeah, did that show up for you if you refresh? I just added those things for you.
I can refresh my character sheet?
Yeah.
What? Wow. All right, I'm totally going to do Vicious Mockery.
All right, perfect. Great.
I want to make them feel like idiots for coming up on us when we saw them from a mile away anyways. So
excellent,
might as well just mess with their hearts.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad it's not directed toward me.
Yeah, not yet.
All right, yeah. So they have to make a wisdom saving throw, which is not a great thing for a goblin. So hit me with it. What do you say to these poor little dudes?
You guys realize that we saw you from a mile away, and the fact that you're trying to attack us right now just means you're going to die. I suggest walking away now, or Barbarian's going to do some crazy things with his sword in places you don't want it to be.
So, he already had a -1 modifier for wisdom, and he rolled a 2. So you not only scared the crap out of this little goblin, but you make him feel really bad about himself. You kind of like, here, go ahead and roll your damage, which is 1d4.
Okay. 2.
All right. So he takes 2 mental damage, and all of his attacks that he tries to do are going to have disadvantage because he just feels that badly about what he tried to do. Yeah, he viciously failed that. The other goblins are like kind of looking at each other like maybe this wasn't such a good idea, but you made him feel really shitty, so that's great. It actually
Squad goals.
is it actually is the goblin's turns next. So that one, even though he has disadvantage, is gonna try to just stick you with his short sword, and that disadvantage just really just fucked him. He misses. So he kind of tries to be like, oh yeah, well, duh, and just like completely misses. The one behind Garin is gonna just try. He's like, this was a bad idea anyway. We probably are gonna die. I might as well go out like looking really cool. And wow, that's just not a great roll. Yeah, no, he misses as well. He like goes to like try to get you, and you kind of like turn around. There's just this little goblin that's like maybe up to your knee trying to stab you. And then another one is going to try to attack Kane. Okay. Does a 15 hit you, Kane? What is your armor class?
13.
Okay, so he does get you, and wow, doing a whopping 2 damage. Wow, what a powerful little goblin. He kind of like sticks you in the side. You're like, ow, but it's not lethal at all. You take 2 damage from his little. It's probably a wooden sword if we're being honest. And then the last one tries to attack Marleman, and that is a 4. So this is just not going well for them. They probably have, it's an off day. The bard kind of made them feel really bad about themselves. They're just like trying, but it's just nothing's working for them. Marleman, it is your turn next.
Okay. Can we try and I can attack next, right?
Yeah.
Might we not
Okay.
try and get some information?
I was gonna say I do speak Goblin, so can we try and try and persuade them to stop and like talk to us for a little bit?
Possibly.
Talk to the guy that I just viciously mocked who thinks he's worse than anything in the world. I'm pretty sure he'll talk now.
So yeah, let's try and persuade them to not attack us.
Okay.
Ooh.
They're still trying to like while you're they missed you terribly, so it's kind of one of those things where you probably like held your hand out to his forehead, but he's like he's just like
Perfect.
trying so hard, and it's just nothing's working.
Okay.
You're gonna try to speak to him?
So yeah, I'll say, hey man, what's going on? Why are you trying to attack us? We saw you coming, so this can go one of 2 ways. You can help us, or we can continue fighting. What do you want it to be?
He like keeps going, and he's like, we need to no travelers in a forest, and he's just like really trying just so hard, and he won't stop.
Okay. Can I do an unarmed strike?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that. So then I roll
You roll your d20.
my d20.
And you
Okay.
have a +4 to your unarmed strike. That's that's an 18. You hit. So go ahead and roll your damage, which actually I think it does 3 automatically, which is
Yeah, I think it's 3 damage.
all right. So you do 3 damage to this little goblin. His lip is bleeding a little bit, and he just goes right back to trying to fight you. What he's really doing is trying to get into your backpacks and steal stuff from you. And you kind of notice that as he sort of like tries to evade your punch to like swipe for your bag, but you get him right in the face, so he's unsuccessful. Garn, it is your turn.
I will. I'm gonna reckless attack one of these guys.
Great.
With my great axe.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna take notes.
And you get to add 5 to that. You still don't hit. So you, however,
Isn't a reckless attack that gives me advantage, right?
yes, I believe. Here, let me, could we turn on the fan a little more? It's a little hot. Trying to find it. I can't find it on here, but I believe that is the case. That's significantly better. Yeah, you hit.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead and roll your damage, which is 1d12 plus 3.
10 damage.
You cut him in half.
Oh, jeez.
Cut him in half.
Nice.
Cool.
Kind of.
That's what I was wanting to do.
You just went
Oh.
and just split him right down the middle. His friends kind of look and they like look at each other. Make an intimidation check really quick.
Well, that goblin's half the man he used to be. Ha!
Oh my god. Alright, so they're still gonna try and fight, but they are pretty scared of you considering their buddy just became hamburger buns. That brings us back to Kane.
Yeah.
There is still one right next to you. He kind of
Right.
stabbed you with his little wooden sword, gave you 2 measly damage.
I'm gonna cast blindness.
Okay. They have to make a Constitution saving throw. Great. Not looking good. DC 13, he fails. He is blind. And he kind of runs off like back towards the hill and finds a tree and starts trying to stab the tree. He has no idea what's happened. He's like, ah! That Ben.
Oh God. How many are left?
There are 3, but one is currently attacking a tree, so you probably don't
Attaboy.
need to worry about him. Were you able to refresh your page? Does your rapier show up now?
Yeah. So I actually went to the D&D Beyond character page. So now it's and I can click on the spells and it tells me what they do.
Great.
So now
Perfect.
I'm not gonna have to ask 50 questions. Let's see. Just because I'm such a great person, I'm wait, hold on. Is Unseen Servant passive?
Yeah, it's let's see how long it lasts.
He's just a it's a 1 hour spell, but I think he's just a distraction.
Yeah.
Well, he has a strength of 2. He does have a strength
He can
of 2.
perform simple tasks.
It can't attack. Damn it. Okay.
It doesn't, yeah. You can send him to be attacked instead, but he can do simple tasks like if you really don't want to enter a room but you need something really bad, he can like sneak in and grab it for you. But I don't know if he could attack.
All right, so I'm going to use some thaumaturgy.
Okay.
And I don't know which one. Do I get to pick which one it does?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do the. Let's see, point of your choice. Okay, so I'm gonna do the create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within the range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or an ominous whisper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna have that tree that goblin's hitting just start yelling at him.
Oh my god. All right, you successfully do that, and the tree. It kind of sounds like the tree is like yelling at this goblin, and he just starts screaming. He's like, ah! He like can't see now. Like whatever he was attacking is yelling at him. You're just really messing with this dude's head. He's not having a great time.
Oh, it's a
Um,
gift to do what I do.
it is now the goblin's turns again. So the one that was next to Kane is currently attacking the tree, and he's just gonna try to really get that tree. And he does really well. He successfully, yeah, just like right into the side of the tree, but
Good job, little buddy.
gets his
Good
sword
job, bud.
gets his sword stuck. So now he kind of has to try to work to, while he's blind, get the sword stuck out of the tree. And then the one that was next to Marleman is gonna try to attack again. Okay, that's not bad. Your armor class is 13. Alright, he rolled 15, so he does hit, and he deals 4 damage. So maybe he, like, he gets you, as you're, like, moving around, he finds, like, a place of weakness as far as how you're armed, and he kind of, like, just, like, stings, just, like, gets you in there a little bit. As he does this and he notices he hurt you, he kind of looks scared that he did. So he, like, kind of did it, and he's like, oh, shit, like, oh, no. And then, the last one, there was one at the tree, one tries to attack Ben. Okay, that is an 18, so he does hit.
Wow.
And he
Sure?
deals 3 damage to you.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
And Marleman, it is now your turn.
Okay, so I'll do. Can I use my axes?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right.
Let's go for the guy in front of me, and then
Great.
see
So,
where we go from there.
You get a +4 to your axes, and you chose 2-weapon fighting, right?
Correct.
So you get to roll twice and attack twice. This.
For my D20.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1.
All right.
He has 2-weapon fighting, which is a different skill. So he's allowed to use both of his weapons on his attack.
All right, so unfortunately you miss with both. You like do like a little slashing thing, and he was kind of alert because he just hurt you, so he probably like saw him coming and was like, and was able to duck effectively. Garin, you are at the back. There is a goblin next to Ben, and there's a goblin next to Marleman, and then there's the one viciously attacking the tree.
I'll leave the one attacking the tree alone. How much damage have you taken, Marlon and Ben?
3 points or 4 points.
I've
Excuse me.
taken. Hold on. I've taken 2 or 3. 3. I've taken 3.
All right, I'll go after the one that's next to Marleman.
Okay.
And I will do a reckless attack.
Okay. And as a barbarian, you can choose to, wow, that's, okay, alright. You can choose to rage, which, would give you +2 to your damage and advantage on strength checks, if that interests you, but, you get a +5, so yes, you hit. Roll for damage. And you split this one in half as well. Just right down the middle. Kane, there is one next to Ben, and then there's the one attacking the tree.
Yeah, I'm still mad that one attacking that's at the tree got me, so I'm gonna walk over there and warhammer him.
I'm going to give you advantage on that because he cannot see you.
Okay.
So you can roll twice and take the higher number.
Okay.
Great.
Oh,
All right, so you get to take the higher number, and you get a +4, so you hit. So go ahead and roll for damage.
And that's the 12. Or
So you can. Are you using one hand or two?
just one.
So then you'll roll a d8.
Okay.
Yep. He's dead. He is dead.
Just-
He was viciously attacking the tree, and then you just went bonk right on his head, and he just dead. So now there is one left, and Ben, it's actually your turn, and this is the one that you did the vicious mockery to, and just made him feel really shitty, and he's the only one still alive.
and he's the one that stabbed me for 3 points too, wasn't he?
Correct. That is correct.
So I am absolutely pissed off about the fact that he poked me with his stick.
Rightly so.
So I'm gonna use Hellish Rebuke and light his ass on fire.
Oh my gosh.
Because I am spiteful and pissed off, and he almost poked my bagpipes.
Fantastic. Let's see how he does on that saving throw. Oh, he just misses it. He misses it. He takes full damage. Roll 2d10.
Okay.
All right. So, that is yep. He is. First, you set him on fire, and he screams, and he kind of runs in a circle a little bit before the screams stop, and he is dead. So, these poor little goblins had no idea what they were up against. They thought it would just be some more food, maybe some weapons for them. And as this happens, you, Marleman, can hear more rustling in that bush and some soft crying.
All right, can I go over and investigate it?
Yes.
All right, I go do that.
All right, go ahead and make an investigation.
Okay, is that my D20?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Roll.
All right, that's okay. So you have a 9 investigation. You can see that in the bush there is a shade of green that is not natural. So it is probably not part of the bush.
Okay. Can I go over and see what it is? Pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's walk over to the bush.
So as
Just come check it out with me.
Yeah. As you walk over to the bush, you see a trembling little goblin girl. She instantly drops her little wooden sword, and she's like, "Please, please don't kill me. I never wanted to do this. I don't mean any harm. I'll do anything you want, please." And she's just kind of just shaking, and she's curled up into a ball, and she looks very scared.
Okay. All right, so can I offer her a piece of food or something so
Yeah,
she trusts
sure.
us? And
Go
just
ahead
say, hey,
and make
We
maybe
have some
a persuasion to get her to come out of the bush.
all right, D20.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
All right, so she is really scared, and she doesn't come out all the way, but she reaches out her arm and she grabs what you offered her, and she just starts chowing down. She is clearly starving.
Okay.
I'll offer her
All
some
right.
of that bread that I
Okay.
was given by the innkeeper,
Okay.
and just be like, "Here you go. Have you seen anybody with the glowing sword, or a I don't know, a dwarven princess come by?"
You mean Princess Zephrine?
Yeah.
I know Princess Zephrine.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Really? Do you know where she is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've got some more bread if you wouldn't mind taking us to her.
Oh, please, sir, that's so nice. My name's Bip. I don't like to steal, and I don't want to fight. I'm actually a pretty good cook if you're ever hungry. My dream is to open up a tavern in the city, and I'd call it Bip's Lucky Cauldron. Are you hungry?
I actually had a nice breakfast this morning, but I have some spare bread, So why don't you come along with us? Take us over to where the princess is. You don't have to do any fighting. And you know what? When we get back to town, we'll put in a good word for you. Maybe you can get that tavern set up.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. She comes over and she hugs your leg. She's like probably right below your knee. She's just a little itty bitty thing. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about the others. Um, this is our only way of getting food. The king just sends people to kill us and we can't go into town. Last time we tried, we were attacked. I always say that it doesn't add to our reputation if we attack everyone, but they always insisted that I was too soft."
You're actually quite smart. Would
Thank
you
you.
like a piggyback ride?
I would
No,
love
no.
one.
That's my spot.
She climbs just right up. She climbs right up, and this is probably the highest view of the forest she has ever gotten. She's like, "Wow." And she kind of warns you guys. She's like, "Everybody at my hideout is pretty jumpy. They're afraid that the king is gonna send someone to kill us all."
Well, you know what? I can't make any promises. We aren't going to go there for any other reason. I won't go there for any other reason. Aside from to get back the princess. We need to find the princess, and that's pretty much all that I care about. So,
Right
Says
then.
the guy that cut two goblins in half.
She wasn't
yeah,
watching.
sorry about that.
She doesn't need to know that. She's like, "Right then.
Don't look over here. We'll just move along.
I just suggest that we be careful. I don't know how they'll react."
Any ideas?
I
Where's
think we
the
ask how she knows her.
yeah?
she
Where's
knows the
the
princess.
how far away is the hideout too?
Oh, it's off the path a little this way, probably 10-15 minutes. And Princess Zephrine is quite lovely. My leader, Krug, he thought that it would be a good idea to capture her so that the king would do something we want, but she's been helping me in the kitchen to make our food. She's very nice. She lets me braid her hair.
Is there a way that we might approach the hideout that we wouldn't be so easily seen?
Well, there are usually rocks around that you could hide behind. I do know that there's usually a bugbear keeping guard, but he doesn't like his job, so he doesn't usually watch very well, if you know what I mean.
So if you guys hide in the rocks, I can disguise myself as a goblin and see what I can figure out, so that nobody has to get killed.
That's
in the
true.
process.
You could even disguise yourself as one of the goblins you killed, sir.
Maybe one with the full half. We'll work with that though.
Do you speak Goblin?
I do.
Shit.
I speak Goblin and Common, and Princess Zephrine is teaching me a bit of Dwarvish.
Nice.
Then I'm gonna have to bring you with me because I don't speak Goblin.
Something else we could, Marleman, you speak a bit of Goblin,
I do.
don't you?
Mhm.
I could also make you invisible if you'd like. And you could
That'd
approach.
work.
That might be a bit safer, I have a
Yeah.
feeling.
Not a bad idea.
I'm not a very good talker when it comes to other languages anyways.
I'm just worried if the bard sees someone cute that he'll break character.
As long
So-
as there's no dragons there, we'll be okay.
So, Bip, energetically points you off the path where you should be heading. After 10 minutes, like she said, you find like a little clearing, and there's trees and rocks and a cave entrance. But from what you can see, there's no one there yet. The cave has been built into the muddy brown rock of the cliff. The stone guarding the entrance is jagged and uneven, arranged in such a way that it would be difficult for passersby to spot if she didn't point it out to you. The mouth of the cave is engulfed by darkness, and the breeze from within is quite chilling. As the party is approaching, you hear footsteps accompanying a deep voice slowly getting louder as it approaches the entrance. Marleman, you hear, "I'm technically on duty, you crazy bastard. We can play some more after I get off." You hear a little cry in protest. He's like, "Come on, I could lose my job after this. Besides, I don't get paid enough to be gambling it all away."
All right. So I'll let the party know. Say, guys, I hear some people up there. It sounds like they're playing dice or gambling in some way. Can I roll a perception check to see if I can see them?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. And that's a d20, so +4.
Excellent. And you have dark vision. So you can see probably like 20 feet from the opening, a bugbear walking up reluctantly as he leaves his goblin buddies to take his post.
Okay. Looks like the bugbear the young goblin told us about, guys, is up there. How do we want to proceed?
Is he by himself, or is his crew around him?
From what Marleman could tell with his highly perceptive roll, is that he is by himself, but his buddies are kind of like yelling in protest that he should stay. But he keeps walking because it's his time to guard.
Ooh, I have an idea. What if I disguise myself as the bugbear and I tell him, "Hey man, I know you don't want to stand it, so I'll take it for you. You can just have my next one, and then you roll, and then I'll stand guard so that we can get in there."
You can certainly try.
Let's try that. Let's try disguise myself as a bugbear and tell him, "Yo, dude, you're good. Like, you go back, you rest, you look tired. I got this."
Great. So is everyone else going to hide behind some of the trees? I
think maybe we should do the invisible plan. That way, the bard's got some backup.
Okay.
Okay.
So, let's see.
Can I have the little girl go and hide somewhere?
Yeah, you can go ahead and tell her to go hide. She will. She trusts you, so she will do it.
That's still funny.
All right, so I cast invisibility on Marleman.
Okay. And Garin, you tell her to go hide, so she finds the nearest tree and she gets behind. And then Kane, are you going to hide as well? Or are you going to try
Yes.
to be okay? And then Garin, how about you?
I'll try and hide as well, just to be kind of within rescuing distance in case things don't go to plan for Ben.
Okay, so go ahead and make a stealth check.
That's +1, so 19.
Very nice, very nice. And Kane, you had to get 10, so you are good as well. So you guys successfully are obstructed from view. Ben, you cast Disguise Self and become a bugbear.
A bugbear.
Great, great. And as this happens, you can see the bugbear viewed in the mouth of the cave, and he sees you guys. He's like, "Oi! What are you doing?"
Hey, so I see you're sleepy, and figured that since we have this bugbear watch that we have to do, I'm gonna let you take a break because I got a date later that I can't be late to. So you can just take my bugbear watch later. I'll take your bugbear watch now. You can call it good. You can get some rest and maybe put a smile on your face.
He looks you up and down. He's like, "I've never seen you before. What's your name?"
My name is Gablicius.
Nice name.
Thanks.
Mother's side?
Unfortunately, it's my father's side. My mom decided to go out with other bugbears, and it's been very rough on me.
Go ahead and
So I
make
joined.
a persuasion check.
Okay.
Actually, deception. Do deception.
What's that?
That's like lying. You get a +5.
No, What is the die? 20?
Yeah, D20, yeah.
God, Jesus.
So a +5 is 11. So
Okay.
he's like, he kind of feels like you might be being dramatic a little bit, but he doesn't know if that's just how you normally are. He's kind of like, yeah, father's, it's rough. I've never seen you before. How long have you been working here?
Well, they grabbed me ever since the princess was taken because they wanted to have a little more people to watch so that people wouldn't get so tired standing such long watches. So they brought me over from the other spot, the other cave, way down the way across the forest. Told me they needed me here for extra protection purposes. So figured I'd do you a solid because I know we just met. I want you to like me, so I'm gonna take your watch so that we can be friends later on.
Persuasion check. That's another D20, but you get to add 7.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a 12. It's a 12.
Okay.
It's not terrible. He's like, there's another cave?
Too many questions. Yeah. Ever since this whole king trying to kill us and these crazy barbarians going through the forest cutting people in half, they really have stood up these watches because we don't want to lose as many people. And so they brought us from the cave down over there because they figured maybe it would help over here because this is where all the bad stuff is going down. Over there, there's nothing. Maybe a few pigeons or birds flying around, but other than that.
Fucking hate pigeons.
Me too.
I'm gonna have him make an insight check. He failed miserably. So, he starts to, like, let his guard down a little bit. He's like, hey, Princess Zephrine. She's pretty cute, huh?
I mean, I would definitely make goblin babies with her. 100%.
He, like, slaps you on the side of the shoulder. He's like, right then, thank you very much. And he just, like, saunters back to his friends to continue playing. He's like, hey, what was your name again?
Goblinic.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
It's bugbearish. It's Goblinic. I don't know how it pronounce. I think it's like Jeffrey and Goblin, possibly.
Right. Hey, guys! A Bubblible is my friend now!
Kane
all-
is stifling laughter from the trees.
They all like... and they continue playing, and you have successfully replaced the bugbear.
Thank you.
I am shocked that that worked.
So, your disguise self lasts for 1 hour. So
Oh,
you
God.
will be a bugbear for 1 hour.
Works for me.
Okay.
I got
Can
it.
I take some time and go into the cave a little bit?
Absolutely.
See if I can't see a little bit further in or see what we're running up against.
Yeah. And you have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Okay. The cavern walls are cold and wet. It is pitch black, but since you have dark vision, it's dim to you. At the end of the hallway, there's a soft glow. As you get a little closer, you see a fire set up in the middle of a group of goblins with a bugbear playing cards, with copper pieces, food, and trinkets in a pile to the side. Their weapons are sitting beside them, and as you get closer, you hear a cry of frustration as a goblin throws his cards down and takes the whole pile. What's your... You can make a history check to see if you recognize the game.
Perfect. Let's do it. And is that a D20?
Yes.
Five.
Alright, so, well, it's a card game. That's... basically, what you can gather is you give money, you have random cards, and then you get money if you have a good hand.
Okay. All right. And let's see.
So, here. If
Can I
do
make a
that,
note?
What do you guys see?
Black.
Great.
Black.
That's what I wanted. I will slowly reveal to you, this is what you can see, Marleman.
Okay.
And the goblin group that's playing cards is like kind of where that little first divot is.
Okay. Can I make note of how many there are?
Yeah, there
Okay.
are 4, and then the bugbear.
Okay, so 4 and then the bugbear. All right. Can I try and sneak past them?
Yeah, since you are invisible, you'll have advantage on your stealth check.
Okay. So that means I roll 2 of them.
Yeah, and then you get to take the higher number.
Okay. And with stealth, I get a +5. Okay.
Nice.
So we'll roll once. Hopefully it comes out better. All right. Yeah, we'll keep that one.
All right, you
Gives me a 19.
successfully stealth past them. As you basically stick close to the walls, and they're all super into their card game. Like they do not notice you. As you get to area 2 on the map, there are more guards, but there's only like 2 goblins, and they're kind of like fiddling with their sword, and they're like kind of looking over because they didn't get asked to play cards. They feel a little left out. They're a little
Okay.
distracted, and they're just like trying to make out what kind of game they're playing, but they are certainly not on alert.
Okay. And how long does the invisibility spell last?
Let
1
me
hour.
yeah, it lasts about
1
an hour.
hour?
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's see. So we've got 4 and we've got 2. Can I head back?
Yeah. You'll
The
have
group?
to make another 2 stealth
Stealth check?
checks. Mhm.
Okay. All right. 9. 17. Okay.
Great.
We'll take the 17.
Yeah.
So
You're
22.
good. You're good. So you make it out of the mouth of the cave, but you are still
Okay.
invisible, so no one really knows that you're back yet.
Okay. So I'll walk up to Ben and just kind of let him know what I found, and then also let him know that I'm gonna go talk to the other guys and see what and figure out what we want to do. So let him know how many people are there and then we can kind of plan.
Okay.
So
I'm just gonna bugbear it up right here. I got you, fam.
Great.
all right. So we got 6 guards, 4 playing cards, and 2 waiting just down the hallway. So I don't know. I guess you guys could probably come out of hiding and come a little bit closer to the entrance of the cave.
Yeah, all right. I'll come up and I'll stay kind of off to the side of the entrance of the cave so that if there's anybody inside that's looking out, they can't easily spot me.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be difficult for me to kind of get in there without being seen, unless I am super invisible. So we're definitely going to need to find a way to, if we're not going to be going in, axes blazing, then we're going to need to come up with a pretty good strategy here.
Okay.
So can I ask a question regarding the goblins? Like, what's their temperament?
Well,
Are they just bored? Are they mad? Are they happy?
From what he could tell, the goblins playing cards are like joyous but like frustrated because the one of the goblins keeps winning. Like they might suspect him of cheating a little bit, probably. And then the 2 guards that were waiting in the hall are just bored. They're bored and they feel sad that they didn't get invited to play cards.
Okay.
My vote is to go in axes ready. Maybe we could ask the little goblin girl if there's a way for us to get in.
Or maybe we could ask the little goblin girl to act as a lure to bring the 4 closer to the mouth of the cave.
So that we can ambush them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Set up an ambush.
I'm down for that.
I could probably, if we want to bring him to the front entrance, I can cast, what is that? Prestidigitation, which basically I can make like sparks, or I can make something happen to bring everyone over there. Or I can basically cause a distraction at the entrance of the cave so that everyone comes to check it out.
I think that'd be better. That way we don't try and put that little goblin in danger.
Now the question is, do I want to do magical sparks or do I want to do an odd odor? Well, goblins already smell bad,
I was
so
gonna say, will they even mind? Yeah.
They might actually find it appealing.
Yeah, they might just sit tight and be like,
That
"Oh, I love Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday is amazing." Okay, all right. So I'm gonna do. If it's cool with everyone else, I'm gonna cast prestidigitation at the entrance of the cave and just make it start sparking.
Okay. And I'll assume a somewhat hidden position near the cave entrance.
Okay.
All right.
Is there any way for me to get above the cave entrance to quite literally get a drop on them, or is that?
So there are rocks kind of coming out, but I don't know if they are stable enough to take your weight.
That's fair.
Could I get up there?
Potentially. Let's see. You are dexterous and you're pretty agile, but I do think that you're technically still a medium creature. It might take your weight, but you would not feel sturdy or safe at all.
Okay. I think I'll just stay kind of down by everybody. Maybe go a little bit into the mouth of the cave so I can come up behind them.
How much longer am I a bugbear for?
It's probably been 15 minutes.
Okay, cool. Because I can't play my bagpipes. It's a distraction if I don't have fingers. So I'll just do the prestidigitation.
We're all very sad about that.
Oh yes, tear.
So how do I give him not fingers going forward?
Anyone has minor illusion to get.
You're not healing my heart, okay?
All right, so you're gonna make sparks at the entrance. You are a bugbear. You could also potentially try to add to the effect.
Oh, I could say that we have enemies coming. Enemies incoming.
Something like that. You could do that.
I'll just start. I'll do the sparks, and then I'm gonna run up to the cave and be like, "Hey, there's people coming, and I can't take them all. Help!"
All right, you hear rustling in the cave as the bugbear that was in there is kind of like, because he finally got off to play games with his friends. And then the other goblins kind of scramble to pick up their little sticks, and they start running outside, just like, as Garin would say, axes blazing, and they just run right out the mouth of the cave, and they're just like, ah. But they still don't see those who are hiding.
I say we try and get a surprise round in on these guys. Yeah. See if we can.
I'm in.
Do we have to do initiative, or we just?
You'll do initiative, but you will get to have one round without the goblins having a turn.
Okay. I could cast sleep.
Oh, what does sleep do? Are you able to target more than one person?
I am.
Yeah, basically how sleep works is he will roll 5d8, and then that's how many hit points he can affect. So, it might work very well, actually, because goblins don't have a whole lot, so if you roll very high, then you could potentially put all of them to sleep. So, yeah, you could definitely try.
Wait, is sleep an area effect? Because right now I think those dudes are around me, and I don't want to go to sleep too.
No, he controls, he basically...
I got you, bro.
Yeah, he gets to,
I won't say that again, I'm so sorry.
Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose. So, it may affect you if you're within the range, but he can also maneuver it in such a way to not get you.
Okay. Because I'm the biggest thing I'm concerned about right now is since they're still hiding in that spot with the little the girl goblin chilling over there in the same hiding spot. If they start attacking from over there, that's going to draw all of the goblins to that location and might harm the little girl.
Well, they moved up closer to
Yeah,
the cave.
I moved to the cave
Yeah.
entrance.
And,
Oh,
and
okay,
they
cool.
they won't know where the sleep spell is coming from.
Perfect.
It's not, there's no visual effect with that. And also, I wouldn't be worried about it affecting you because you probably have the most hit points out of the entire group, and it starts with the lowest hit point creature.
Okay.
And then
Not that I care about the little girl. I just know she's really good at cooking, and I'm kind of excited for the food. So.
But he can choose a point in such a way so that it doesn't affect her or you.
Works for me.
All right.
Perfect.
Do you want to
Let's
try
try it.
that?
Yeah, let's go
So
for it.
you'll go ahead and roll 5d8.
Okay.
Nice. All right. So that is. All right. There were 4 goblins and 1 bugbear. 2 are asleep completely. 1 is very groggy, but is not completely asleep, but they'll have a point of exhaustion, which means that they have disadvantage on their attacks. So you successfully put 2 of the goblins to sleep. The third one is really tired, and the fourth one has no idea what's going on, and the bugbear is kind of looking around and looking at you, Ben, kind of like, where's the thing? What's...
Oh, so I just realized that I have an ability right here.
Okay.
That I could have used. I could have used enhance ability on his sleep spell, so that it could have knocked more people out.
That's true, but we know for next time.
Next time. Sorry, bro. Just I didn't scroll down.
Yeah,
So-
bugbear brain.
The bugbear
Yeah,
kind
right,
of
yeah.
The bugbear like sees his friends falling asleep. He's like, "Hey! What are you doing?" And he like has no idea where it's coming from. He's like looking at you and he's like, "Where are they? What?" He's like,
Don't ask me. I just randomly got hit with some sort of sleeping spell. I got super drowsy, but I snapped out of it because it wasn't that good of a sleeping spell anyways. But
Okay, enough of this.
You guys
I
are-
quit. I swing.
"All right,
Swing.
now roll for initiative."
All right, and then mean.
So that is
Oof.
Sorry, just a second.
are we all rolling for initiative or?
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know since I was a bugbear. I'm just chilling.
But you don't have to necessarily attack on your action in initiative. You can do something else, like you can choose to break initiative by like speaking or like distracting or being like, "Hey, look over there," or something like that. Or you can attack as well.
Okay. Ooh. I know exactly what I want to try and do.
All right, so we have. All right. So, you do have a surprise round. So, Ben, you rolled highest in initiative, so before the bugbear or goblins who are awake get to do anything, you guys all get a turn.
Cool. So I want to attempt to cast suggestion,
Okay.
and I want to try and convince the other bugbear that the goblins has mistreated our kind for so long. It's our time to rear up and take them down so that he can be on our team. So we got 2 bugbears kicking ass instead of just one.
Fantastic. All right, let's see. He has to make a wisdom saving throw. He did pretty well. He let's see what happens when he passes. Yeah, he passes. So it does not work, but you can go ahead and make your case for entertainment purposes.
All right. Brethren of the Bugbear Nation, too long have we let these darn goblins take us and use us for their will. Today I feel it is our time to turn on the goblin kind and make them our not superiors, because I don't know the word to non-superiors. Let us rise, brother, take them down, and rule this cave as our own.
He looks at you and he's like, "Are you being serious?"
Absolutely. I'm tired of these goblins telling me what to do. Let's tell them what to do, and then possibly sing after while we drink, because I'm thirsty.
It doesn't work. He kind of like looks at you and he's just like, he like thinks to himself, he's probably like, "Oh, this one's crazy, mate." He's just like, it didn't work. You're weird to him. He's kind of like, I don't know where that came from, but he doesn't feel the effects of the spell.
All right. Well, at least he doesn't think I'm a target. He just thinks I'm an idiot. So we're good there.
All right, yeah, we're good. Kane.
I had quite spell slots. I guess I'm
Yes.
not seeing because I know I've already cast a
So-
few, and
What you have to do is if you click the red cast, then the slots. Oh, so it may be being covered because when you click on a spell, the description covers it. But if you click out of that little box, there should be little box next to the word slots that keep track of how many you have.
oh, gotcha.
So you have casted
I cast invisibility.
and
Oh, and
blindness.
blindness. Yeah.
So you casted sleep, which is one first level spell. So you have 3 first level spell slots left for this
Okay.
rest. But I will say that because of your domain, you can use your channel divinity and pray to your god to allow for, I believe it's you get like 2 more additional spells even if you're out of spell slots
Okay.
because of your connection with your deity.
Okay. I'll cast Shield of Faith.
Okay. So your armor class is 15 for the rest of this encounter. Do you have, let's see, I believe that is...
Oh, sorry, that's just for one. For some reason, I thought that was more general. Okay, well, we'll do that.
Okay. And Marleman, bring you guys on the page of the lair entrance. So Bip, Garin, and Kane were all hiding off to the left behind those trees that are in the shade. And the bugbear and the goblins are still on like where the stones are in the map.
Okay. Can I attack? Let's do the bugbear
All right.
from behind because I was in the cave.
Yes.
All right, so we'll just do with my axes.
Okay.
So that's 2 rolls with my d20. Oh dear. Well, that's not too bad.
Okay. You miss with the first one, but you hit with the second.
Okay. And so then I roll. Nope, the axes do a specific amount of damage.
Yeah, I believe it's 1d6 because you're using two smaller ones. Yeah, so
Yes.
you roll 1d6 and you get to add 2.
Okay. 1d6.
Great. Alright,
Perfect.
so you deal 6 damage to him. He is very confused because he can't see you. So he just like it's like one of those really funny scenes where someone's invisible and it looks like they're like getting attacked by nothing. He's like he like turns around to try to like attack back, but he has no idea where it came from. Garin.
Oh, I just come out and try and whack him in the head with my axe.
All right, great. The bugbear.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm going to do a reckless attack.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, well, what do you get to add? You get +4. Neither hit. I'm sorry.
That's definitely understandable.
And now it is the bugbear's turn. So, since you are the last who attacked it, he's going to try to attack you with his javelin. And yeah, that's not great. Yeah, no, he misses. So, this was a surprise round, so he's still recovering from being ambushed. He didn't expect this, even though he thought the enemies were, like, further away. He wasn't really ready, so he, like, just, and just, like, misses completely. Ben, it is your turn again.
I drew pictures on your map because I
Yep.
wanted to remember where all of them were, but
Perfect.
I don't know how to get rid of those circles.
I have a control that can clear drawings, so it'll just
Okay,
erase
cool.
them all if we're...
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't like screw up your map or
No,
anything.
no, it's all good.
All right, so I've got a bugbear that thinks I'm crazy, so I'll just leave him alone.
You have
I'm
one
going
goblin that is completely fine. We'll say the 2 goblins that are on the left, which was closest to Kane, are the ones that fell asleep. And then the goblin all the way on the right was completely unaffected, and the goblin like middle right, the smaller circle, is exhausted.
How many slots do I have left? Level
You
1, level 2.
have, let's see. I think someone's playing with a firework outside. So you casted Hellish Rebuke and Suggestion, and then Disguise Self. So you have 3 first level spells left.
And no level 2 spells left.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to okay, so I'm gonna cast Bane on the 3 that are awake.
Amazing. All right. They have to make charisma saving throws. That's probably not gonna be great for them. Yeah, no. Bugbear fails. One of the goblins really fails. And so does the other one. So, they all fail. So, because of that, on every attack roll, saving throw, or ability check? Alright, I must subtract 1d4 from everything. Nice. Alright. Kane.
Two-handed warhammer at the bugbear.
Okay. You get to add what's your modifier? +4. You unfortunately miss. It is now the goblin's turn. So, one of them is exhausted. So not only does he have disadvantage, I also have to subtract 1d4 from whatever he tries to do. So, one of them is going to try to attack Garin because he saw him attack the bugbear. But he's probably not gonna yeah, that's just bad. That is a 0. He rolled a 3, and then I had to subtract 3. So, he didn't even, like, it did one of those things where, it, like, touches you, but then the sword, like, bends. It, like, goes, like, boing, and, like, doesn't even, you feel no pain. And then,
I'm wearing armor.
yeah, exactly. So he kind of goes, and then the sword just, like, completely bends. It's like jelly. And then, the one who's not exhausted is going to try to do the same thing just because you're closest. Yeah, that's just, wow, that's really not great. And that's a 4. So he misses. And now, Marleman, it is your turn.
All right. I'll go attack the bugbear again with my axes.
Okay,
We'll get that going.
Oh, poor bugbear.
nice.
Didn't
That is
so
a
well.
great roll. All right. So, and you get to add what? You hit with both this time. So go ahead and roll
Awesome.
2d6, and then you get to add 2 to each one.
If I just hit 2 and then d6, it'll do it, right?
Yep.
6, and then roll.
All right, and then you get to add 4 because you get to add 2 to each one. So that is
So that's 11.
11 damage. Nice. All right. He still has some health, but he is looking pretty rough. You kind of, like, went 2 different directions with your axes. He's like, ugh, and he just wanted to gamble. You know, he didn't really want this, so he's not having a great day. Garin, you are
Okay.
okay. There we go.
Can I take a bonus action before I take my attack?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to, as a bonus action, rage.
Excellent.
Okay.
You are muted.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to rage, and then I'm going to reckless attack.
All right. Oof.
Oh, dude, nat 1.
Not great, but you get the higher one. And you are attacking the bugbear. All right, that does not hit, unfortunately. 12 is a little too low. But you're really angry, and you're intimidating for sure. That's back to the bugbear. He is going to try to attack Marleman since you just got him with those axes, with his javelin. God, that's just terrible. The dice gods are in your favor today, everybody.
Beginner's luck.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, he misses.
how big is a bugbear?
He's like, I think
Sounds like a
they're
tongue twister.
medium humanoids, so he's about the same height as everyone except Ben, I think.
Okay, so my
Except Ben at this
giant killer
time is his
doesn't
same
count.
height, so
I am a bugbear.
you are a bugbear. Ben, it is your turn.
See, I was comparing bugbears to owlbears, so I was thinking I was like this nasty big. But now
I
know
mean,
I'm just...
compared to what you're used to, you are significantly taller than usual, so you're
Which is
probably
good.
having a great time. You're like, wow, look at me. I could touch that tree if I wanted to, kind of thing.
So, as a bugbear, since I am completely transformed, do I still have all of the stuff that I usually have, like weapon
So
wise?
I am pretty sure you do. It just like you can't see it until you pull it out, and so whoever's like watching is like really weirded out by it because you just look like a bugbear, and then suddenly you pull something out of your pocket, and bugbears don't even have pockets. So that's why it's, if you weren't in combat already, it probably wouldn't be a good idea to try to use a weapon. But
Right.
since you are in combat, then it's probably okay.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is, because even though my party is attacking the bugbear, I'm still trying to be his bro. Even if he said no, I still want to make it look like I'm on his side. So I'm gonna attack the goblin, one of the goblins,
Okay.
and
So
with just normal blunt, whatever. The
so
unarmed strike.
yeah, since you are no, never mind. I wasn't sure if you maybe got the strength of a bugbear as well, but I'm pretty sure it's all an illusion. So you can unarmed strike. You'll be able to add a +1 to it. Oh. I'll let you roll a d6. It says you do 0, but that's just sad.
Okay.
Or maybe
Boom.
a d4. Maybe a d4.
Oh, I just got
Okay.
a 6 though.
So you well, you need to hit first.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That's probably not high enough for. Well, it's a goblin. Those things are little, right? Maybe.
So roll a d20.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Oh, shit.
So if you had hit, it would have been a really great punch. Probably one that you'd be proud of and could talk about in your stories later about how like legendary this punch you did was.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, maybe you're not used to being a bugbear, so they were a lot shorter than you were expecting, so you kind of just like went for it and just missed.
I fucking whiffed. Just
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not used to being this tall.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
that
like,
was a bad idea.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, suddenly I'm not feeling so bad anymore.
Kane, it is your turn.
I'm gonna keep trying this warhammer
All right.
against the bugbear. I might hit at one point with this weapon. Sorry. I get +4.
And you get to add +4. You do hit. You hit.
All right.
Woo!
And then I roll a d8.
Okay, and then I think you get to also add like
I had
2 or something.
Oh yeah, d8
2.
+2.
All right, awesome. So that is 7 damage. All right, he is looking really rough. Like, not only is he just like bleeding, but his demeanor is just like he like was looking forward to Bip's pot roast that she made later. He was doing really well in the card game hand they were playing. Like, he thought that this was gonna be a really great day for him. Like, a new bro was like, "Nah, buddy, you take the day off. You go play with your friends." And here he is about to die instead. It's
I just feel
not
bad for all these guys.
I told him to join. I told him to join me, but he didn't. So now he's gonna die. So that's his fault.
So, he's looking really bad. It is now the goblin's turn. Let me look at the sleep spell, because I don't know how long
I was gonna say it's
they
only
stay
1
asleep.
minute.
So, actually,
Oh,
1
God.
minute is like 10 rounds in D&D, because
Okay.
a turn, like a swing of a sword, is mere seconds.
Right.
So, but however, I haven't been keeping track of the rounds. I do think it's like the 4th or the 5th one. Does that sound right?
How many times have we attacked these guys?
I've-
I'd say we've been like
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I've done 3.
Okay, cool. And then on this round, you will have done 4.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So, those goblins still snoozing. And so the one that's exhausted is going to try to attack Kane, but he has disadvantage, and I have to subtract a d4. Do I even need to roll again? Yeah, no, I didn't even need to roll again. That was terrible. And that's a 2. So he's like, it's actually quite comical. He's like, can barely control his body. He's like, and it's just not working. And you see it coming. It's slow enough to where you can just like watch him tired like swing at you and just completely miss. And then the other goblin is going to try. God, that's terrible. That's a -1 attack. They're just, yeah, this is a, wow. That's their turn. Marleman, it is now your turn.
All right, I'm gonna see if we can take out this bugbear. Yeah,
Leonard, no.
we'll take out Leonard
All right.
with my axes.
Great.
So
Wow, nice. All right, so you miss with the second, you make it with the first. However, it may be just what you need to finish this guy. Go ahead and
Okay.
roll for damage. That's a d6.
all right, just 1d6 this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. +2. Here we go. 7.
Yeah,
Can I just tell him that you should have joined me, bro, before he kills him?
yeah, for dramatic effect, you can kind of look and gauge that he is like on his last breath. He's regretting everything, and before Marleman takes his like finishing swing, you can go ahead and just like dramatically tell him you should have joined me, bro.
Should have been on my team, bro. Now you gonna die.
And with that, Marleman deals the finishing blow. Would you like to describe how you killed this bugbear? Like, where did your axe go?
I think I took the swing just straight right in front of his face because he can't see me.
Right
so
into
I
his
snuck up in
face.
front of his, then it split his head down the center.
Wow, great.
Falls at my feet.
This way?
Fantastic.
This way? Like you chop his face off? Kind
Or
of a
like-
thing?
Yep.
Oh, dude, like
Wow.
Ooh,
I've seen that in a movie once.
nice.
You didn't see
Garin-
that one coming.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Garin, the bugbear is out. There are 2 sleeping goblins. There's the one goblin whose sword just went like boing when he tried to attack you, and there's the other one that's just like almost like a zombie with his trying to stab you. He's just.
Can I put this fully awake goblin in like a sleeper hold? Like just like grapple him, take him down, and choke him out?
Yeah, you could definitely try. So how to do that is you would do like contesting strength checks, which means you would roll a d20 and then I would roll a d20, and whoever if you roll higher, then you're successful in grappling, and if I roll higher, then they're able to get out of your grip.
Cool. And since I'm still in rage mode,
You get
I
advantage
get
on that.
advantage on strength checks, right? Okay.
Correct.
Oh my goodness. Are you serious?
They're slippery. It's okay.
Yeah,
Very.
Get a +3 to. Does that mean I get +3 plus the?
So I'll let you add athletics, so you get +5.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they rolled a 12, which I think is just over what they needed. So yeah, they're slippery. He's a little thing. So you like go, and it's kind of one of those like, and he just at the last second runs out of the way. It's like a flash of green. It would be the bugbear's turn, but his face is 10 feet away from his body, so that's not happening. Ben.
How many do we have left?
There are the 2 that are asleep,
Okay.
and then one that's like zombie-ness, like just so slow, and then the
Okay.
one that's fully awake that just evaded a Garn.
All right, so that guy's fully awake. That guy's not mentally there, and those 2 are in nappy by.
Correct.
All right, so what I'm gonna do, real quick. Let's see here. Now that my buddy Leonard's dead, I don't care about being a bugbear anymore. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna hurt things. I'm going to. Let's see. I don't really want to use any of my spells, so I'm gonna just pull out my rapier out of my bugbear random pocket that I don't technically have, and I'm gonna go at the one that just tried to attack.
Okay. So you get to add a +4 to your d20 roll.
Okay. Well, apparently I'm better singing than I am with a sword.
I mean,
Let's hope so.
that's not so.
You haven't heard me sing yet. Just wait, cleric. I got you.
So again, you're not used to being a bugbear. You're kind of like still gauging how long your arm is, and your analysis of how long you needed stretch your arm was just off by a couple points. It's okay.
I'm gonna stab myself in the face doing this. I need to stop being a bugbear. Can I just cancel the spell?
Actually, yeah, you can if you want.
I would love to cancel the spell so I am no longer a gigantic armed bugbear.
All right. So as a bonus action, you can take down your disguised self. So you are now back to your beautiful tiefling self. Kane, it is your turn.
We'll Warhammer the one who's awake
Okay.
the most. Ah,
What do you get to add to that?
4.
4, 10. Yeah, I'm sorry, you don't hit. But this one who's awake, he's like the only one awake, and he's kind of scared. Like his bugbear friend just got his face chopped off, and his other bugbear friend just turned into a tiefling. So he's kind of confused. He doesn't really know what's happening. But you do miss. It is now his turn. He doesn't really know how to proceed, and he's gonna try to attack you, Kane. But again, Ben's spell Bane is still in a wow. That's a nat 1. Yeah,
Nothing.
yeah. So he's let's say he's distracted by the fact that his other bugbear friend just turned into a tiefling. So he goes to attack, and then he's like, wait, what? And he just completely misses. The one who is zombie is also going to try to attack, and yeah, that's just why do I even? That's a 4. So he again you were able to get out of the way this way the first time, and then he goes, ugh, and you're able to just go the other way, and it's just you completely see it coming. So Marleman, it is now your turn.
All right, I'll go after the one that's awake.
Okay.
And with my 2 axes.
Okay.
So.
Before he does that, can I do my bonus bardic inspiration and give him an extra?
You would have wanted to do that on your turn.
Okay.
But it is almost your turn because the bugbear is gone, so you can on your next turn give that out.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, and you get to add +4. So actually, I think
18 and a 12.
I think that 12 is just what you needed. Let me just make sure on that. All right, it was 13. So you make the first one and you miss the second. So go ahead and roll for damage.
1d6 plus 2 is 5.
Nice. So you just again, he's not dead, but he was still distracted by the fact that his friend just turned into a tiefling, so he was not ready to brace himself for this at all, and just as you just axed him in the shoulder, blood splattered, and he kind of fell back. Garin, it is your turn.
All right. So we have one zombie one that's still at full health, and the other one that's probably on death's door.
Yes, and then the 2 that are asleep.
Yeah. All right. So I haven't been able to hit the bugbear. Haven't been able to hit a fully conscious goblin. I'm gonna try and put this last zombie goblin to sleep.
And you know what? Since it is super slow, I will give you. Well, you already have. I will give you advantage on your attack roll against this one because he is not fully conscious and is super slow, so I don't see him being able to evade your attack.
Okay, let's do that. Okay.
I put things on the map. The Z's are the sleeping ones. The X is the one that's alive, and the loop-de-loops is the crazy one.
Perfect.
That works. All right.
Wow. Okay. That is a critical hit, which means you get to double your damage. So basically, instead of just taking the first roll and timesing it by 2, I'm going to have you roll 2 of the die that you would roll normally. So since you will roll 2d12 plus 3. Yeah. All right. So this goblin is just zombie, so slow, trying to stab your friend, Ugh. And as he's doing that, you just walk right up and you kind of swing your axe like a baseball bat. And you just fling him like probably a good 15 feet in the air. And, yeah, he went bye-bye.
That's what the kids call yeeting, isn't it?
Oh, yes, that is a great description.
All right.
Um,
He's dead.
yeah, so he's not in the picture anymore. So Ben, it is now your turn, and you can use your bonus action to inspire. And there is the one that was fully awake that is not doing too hot, and then the two that are asleep.
Well, I was going to use the bardic inspiration, but after that baseball swing of a hit, I don't. We're doing just fine, guys. All right. So I'm going to take out my rapiers now that he knows I am no longer a friend, and I'm going to go straight at him again.
All right. So go ahead and roll a d20, and you get to add 4. Okay.
11.
You do not hit, unfortunately.
I'm not even good without my small arms. Why?
But you can use your bonus action to inspire if you would like.
I'm not feeling very inspired because of my small arms. But anyways, let's see. Who's up next to hit?
Next will be Kane.
All right. I'm going to lock eyes with Kane. I'm going to inspire. I'm going to give you that extra spell slot so you can desecrate your enemies.
I am very uncomfortable with the energy we've created in the studio today. Like, you make eye contact with him, you're like...
I'm about to inspire you with my bagpipes. But...
Seductively inspire.
Oh, no. So, your inspiration gives him a, D6. So, Kane, you are now inspired, and, for the next, you can add a D6 to an ability check, attack roll, or a saving throw. So, Ben's seductive inspiration has hit you, and you perform extra well on any of those things that you choose.
Told you not to hate on the bagpipes. I knew you secretly loved them.
Kenny G on the bagpipe slowly floats through the air.
Yeah.
So,
I notice I feel a little awkward in this situation.
The thing is,
I just, yeah. Not sure how I feel about this. I decided to take out my awkwardness on this goblin
okay,
with the warhammer.
great.
So I do a d20 plus the d6 then?
Yes.
Okay. So, well.
All right, and then you get to add also your Warhammer bonus, which is 4, which is actually what you need to hit.
Okay.
So, although a little awkward, he was inspiring enough for you to hit this goblin.
Sorry. And then, lost where I was.
Don't stop believing.
It says it's rolling.
Wow, all right. And
+2.
Ben's seductive inspiration was just enough for you to finish this poor little goblin.
You didn't need to pause so long after finish.
I haven't even seduced anybody yet.
Leaving the goblins who are asleep, and they're still asleep, and they will be for 4 more rounds. So you can do a number of things. You can just leave them. You could tie them up. You can try to kill them while they're asleep. You can. What would you like to do with them? Because you're technically out of initiative because they cannot attack you.
So they're just sleeping.
So
It's gonna be a while.
I have 3 kills so far. I think that I'm in the lead. So if anybody wants to kill one of them, I need to stay in the lead of kills. So I call dibs on one if we're killing them. That's it. If we tie them up, fine. But if we're killing them, I call dibs on one.
Well, if we get rid of the bodies and they're sleeping because they don't even know we exist yet. They just know they came out and didn't see anything. If they wake up and see that everyone's gone, they'll think that everyone just went back into where they're coming. So they're going to come back to us anyways, but they're not going to really know what's going on.
And
So if we're quick
I'm
enough,
still, I mean, after our conversation with Bip, I still feel like there's more to meets the eye than everything that's going on with the goblins.
oh
And
God,
I'm
Bip just watched all of that.
So I would personally be inclined to just tie them up, and we can either gag them or try to interrogate them once they awake.
I'll go
All
with
right, there,
Garin. I think
seductive
we should
cleric.
split 'em.
Oh no.
I think for the sake of the girl, we should just tie him up and leave him be so that she knows that we're not just here to kill everybody as much as we want to, but we're
Okay.
here to help them so that she's more willing to, in case we get into a tight pinch, she might be able to come out of nowhere and tell them to stop trying, and if we're like in a bad situation. So she might save us later on if we show mercy.
All right.
All right, fine. I'll take the
Acceptable.
rope out of my pack and tie them up, perhaps just a little bit too tight. But yeah, I'll tie them up.
Okay.
All right.
So, Bip, to try to distract herself from more goblins being killed, was kind of behind the tree drawing things in the dirt. She drew a picture of her future tavern with terrible stick figures. And she just kind of tried to like plug her ears the whole time and just be like la 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 like
Please tell me my yeet goblin or something.
you yeeted him, we'll say the other direction. Imagine she's just drawing, you yeeted him right on her drawing. She's like, ah!
She's coloring. Next thing she knows, she sees a dragon or a little goblin just.
Shooting
I
star,
was just saying.
she's like, shooting star, make a wish.
Okay, good.
All right,
I-
so you, since they're asleep, I'll say that you successfully tie them up. They can't resist you. So,
Should we bring her with us moving forward?
Yeah, I think let's clear the bodies and then we go get Bip and we'll proceed into the cave where we know that there's 2 other people waiting for us.
No. And they might be related to Bip, so she might be able to sweet talk them without us even have to do anything.
Not all goblins are related.
And then am I
I'm just
still
saying.
invisible?
Yeah.
So I'd say that you are, but it's nearing the end of that
Okay.
spell's effects because
Okay.
you you spent like 15 minutes coming in and looking around, and then you guys fought the
Like half an
goblins and
hour
the bugbear, yeah, and then you spent the time tying them up, so you're probably just on the tail end of that invisibility.
Okay. All right.
Question: can we take a short rest so I can go to the
Yeah.
bathroom?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. We can take a little break. I have a
Short
be
rest it
back
up.
soon page for my stream. So why don't we take a bathroom break and we'll have your character's short rest. Maybe you guys admire Bip's picture that she drew. So we'll do that. All right, be right back.
All
Oh,
right.
goodness.
Great.
Awesome.
So you successfully tied up the goblins, and you are going to take Bip with you and go back into the cave, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, again, it is very dark. I do know that one of you has the ability to grant others dark vision for a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be very helpful for the human that you have, at least. I think everyone else might have it, but your oh, you can grant
I have
yourself. Yeah.
I have dark vision.
Okay, great.
So
So
I have
I
dark
can,
vision.
as
awesome.
do I, so I can grant it to Garin.
So
Yeah,
what? Yeah,
I don't have it.
yeah.
Same.
So
Okay.
you can grant it to him, and even though you guys might have dark vision, there's a range on it. But Kane's dark vision ability comes from his deity, and so for 10 minutes, um, you could see with no maximum range. So it would be magical dark vision for 10 minutes. Um, you could do that if you guys wanted no range on your dark vision, but you do already see pretty well in the dark.
And then is there a time, or how many times can he cast the dark vision to Garin?
He gets
3 times.
3 times per long rest.
Okay. So what if we just used? I think Ben, you said that you have it, and Kane, you have it.
Mm-hmm.
So what if we just lead him up to a little bit closer so that it lasts a little bit longer?
I'm okay with that.
I really just want to see him run into walls, but that's just me.
So Garin, you can put your hand on my shoulder, and I'll lead you through the first part of the cave.
Okay.
Awesome.
And then once we get a little bit closer to the guards, we'll cast the magic dark vision so it lasts.
So, you are able to. In area 2 is where those 2 guards were. And actually, as you're walking down, you, Kane, because you don't have a maximum range on that, you can't see any guards.
Well,
So they don't seem to be there anymore.
yeah. So guys, the guards that were there a few minutes ago, Marleman, that you saw, are not. I don't know if they heard the commotion and ran to warn people or what, but we clearly things are not as they were, a few minutes ago.
Okay. Well, maybe we should then just cast for Garin to have it, and then just start heading further
Okay.
into the cave. I just didn't want to be in the middle of a fight and then have his dark vision suddenly go out and make him a target.
Yep.
Okay. So I cast. So what is it? Eye of Night.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Eyes of Night. You're not a Cyclops.
So as you round around the corner where the guards were, you can either go right or there is an iron gate that is locked.
I have the ability to unlock that, don't I? Let's see.
You have.
Does anyone have thieves' tools?
I do. I have thieves' tools.
Can you pick locks with thieves' tools?
So could I not, with thaumaturgy, cause an unlocked? Oh, unlocked door. Now I see. Never mind.
Yeah, I have that same one where it causes it to open up wide. Yeah.
But that was I misread.
Can I use my thieves' tools to try and get into that door?
You could certainly try. It does look pretty hefty.
Okay.
So even
can I
if we
do
get it unlocked?
Can I do a what is that? Not perception check, but
Investigation?
Yeah, can I look at the lock and see what kind of lock it is and see if I have the ability to unlock it before I waste my tools?
Yeah.
Let's see. What die do I roll?
That is a d20, and then you'll get to add +2. Your investigation is +2.
Okay, 9.
Alright, so from looking at it, you've never seen a lock quite like this before. It kind of looks like it was custom made. So your tools may work, but you've never picked a lock like this.
All right, then I'm not going to waste my tools on something I'm not very familiar with, just in case we need something later on.
All right, let's go the opposite direction, I vote.
Yeah,
Agreed.
let's go the other way.
Continue down the unobstructed cavern.
Pip, is there any, or Bip, excuse me, is there anything you can tell us about where we're heading?
Well, just around the corner, that's Blix's daycare. That's where they keep all the baby goblins when the dads are fighting and the women are in the kitchen.
And where does that iron door go? Do you know?
Oh, that's the kitchen. They don't like to be disturbed when they're cooking, so they like to keep it locked because sometimes the bugbears or the other goblins like to terrorize the women when they're cooking.
Bip, can you open the door?
I don't have the key, but we have a special knock I could possibly try if there's anybody in there.
What do we need from the kitchen, though?
Yeah.
She did say there were women in there.
And that
Settle
the princess
down.
is in there sometimes.
Oh,
Right. Yeah, she
She did
helps
say
cook.
that's where she met the princess.
Right, the princess could be cooking right now or helping cook.
Could we send Bip in to see if the princess is in there?
She
If the knock works.
Yeah, if the knock works, then you could definitely try.
Wait, Marleman, are you still invisible?
At this
No.
point, no.
Okay, cool.
I can always make him invisible again.
So Bip kind of walks up and she does her. And she waits. I don't think anyone's in there right now. Or maybe
Okay.
maybe I didn't do it hard enough. I'll try again.
2 bits.
I'm sorry. I don't think anyone's in the kitchen right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So Bip, I'm a little concerned if we go up, if this is the daycare and we disturb these children, I imagine that would create quite a ruckus, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, goblin kids are kind of crazy at first. Blix is really good with them, though. She's an amazing goblin. She has the ability to just have her attention on all of them at once, even though there's so many. But, I mean, she's probably very distracted trying to keep track of them all. I can hardly see that she would be able to notice us if we just snuck around her. But one of the babies might. Then again, they're just trying to bite on everything they see.
I could also try to put everyone to sleep.
Potentially,
A lot.
but I mean
That's a lot of them.
That might be really nice for Blix. They never like nap time.
What if are there toys? Are there toys in there, Blip?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
they're kind of like mini swords, but they don't actually poke anything.
Okay. So if I were to cast like an unseen servant spell and have him pick up one of those toys and just walk that way, all the babies would migrate towards that general direction. She'd be distracted, and then we could sneak around the other way.
Possibly. I could see that working.
What do you guys think?
Well, it's certainly the most excited Bip spin.
Right?
I think
right,
let's try it.
Cool.
All right. As you kind of peek around the corner, you can see a bright light. Here, I'll go ahead and show you this area number 5. You can hear giggles, screams, and but not like concerning screams, more like baby screams and things being thrown. You can see a small pen filled with a variety of toys and baby goblins. There's a female goblin sweating profusely as she tries to keep track of them all. There's a crudely painted sign that says Blix's Daycare. And they're all kind of either play fighting or crawling on top of one another, trying to get out, and she's just having to take them and put them back in the pen, be like, no, don't do that, and just it's a little bit of a mess, but she's the only one that wanted the job.
Yeah, she doesn't look very happy. I could do the same thing I did last time except this time I won't be a bugbear. I'll just turn into older female goblin and help her keep track of the kids and distract her, and then you guys can go in.
I think we should all probably stick together.
Yeah, I don't want to be the guinea pig again. I think unseen servant, and I pick up that crate of toys and just go one direction. All the kids will freak out. She'll be like, "What is that random floating thing over there?" And then we can all sneak around it.
So, quick question about that.
Uh-huh.
So in section 5, there's kind of like a left half and then a right part. Are the kids in the right part right now?
So the pen, excuse me, the pen is in the middle. The area on the right, you can see some tables with books, probably for like tired mothers to go to read when their kid is at daycare. Or on the left is like, there's some beds, so for napping, probably, you could assume. But, clearly the other goblins they didn't give her the best conditions. It's actually her idea to have a daycare. They kind of would have been fine with their kids just being all over the place. So the middle is where the pen is, the right is where there are tables with books, and then the left is a few tiny, crudely made beds.
And there aren't any other full-grown goblins in the area, right? It's just the one goblin and just the kids, right?
Yes.
All right, yeah. If you were to like chuck the like toys off to the right and have like all of the kids do like scramble off to try and catch all of the toys, we can sneak around, hug that left corner, and probably get on by. Or I could younglings.
Hey, I don't know how
no.
I don't know how Bip would feel saying that she's on your shoulders right now, but
Would we all be stealth checking for that?
I'm
all right.
Stealth check.
So I'm gonna do the unseen servant thing. I'm gonna pick up those toys, and just because I'm me, I'm gonna dump them on the female goblin's head, and then all the kids. I'm trying to get all the kids to gravitate towards her.
So as you do that, first, she doesn't notice at first. She's dealing with one who's fussing, and the crate kind of starts to float over to her, and you see a couple baby goblins notice and start to like crawl after it, and then you just dump it over and they start crawling on her. She's like, "Oh my goodness." She's just like, they just start scrambling. She kind of gets knocked prone as they're just crawling all over her. She will not notice you.
Okay, awesome. Let's go. Let's roll.
Boogie.
All right. So, you keep walking. There is another little divot, and you can see some light coming from around the corner. You hear faint goblin voices and light footsteps. Marleman, from what you can tell that they're saying, it's like small talk, talking about the weather, talking about their kids that are in daycare, just like small, regular talk between two male goblins.
Okay. All right, guys. It sounds like there's two of them up there just kind of chit-chatting. Don't seem overly engaged in anything.
Probably easy enough to distract. But Bip, what can you tell us about what's up ahead?
Oh, that's our storage. Anything that we steal, we put in a big pile. There's shiny things. I quite like to look at them. Random trinkets.
Anything that glows, perchance?
I've seen something that glows, but you know how goblins can be. There's no knowing if one of them pocketed one of it.
Gotcha.
How many goblins are in there right now, or is it just the two guarding? Is it like a common area?
Oh no, that's up a ways. If you can see, there was another iron gate besides the daycare right here. She's like, that's where the second door was. That's where we sleep and shower. Although we don't have a plumber, so the water's quite dirty. But there's usually only two guards in the armory. A lot of our swords were either made ourselves or stolen, and much too big for us.
Is that where the princess sleeps as well as with you guys, or does she sleep in a different area?
Well, she usually sleeps in the kitchen. I made up a nice little bed for her because she was uncomfortable sleeping with the other goblins, and I don't blame her. I don't even like sleeping in there sometimes.
Bip, I'm going to ask a stupid question. Is there another way into the kitchen aside from that iron door?
I've only ever gotten in from there, but Krug's got the keys.
And who's Krug?
Oh, that's my leader. He's a hobgoblin.
Oh, right.
He's a lot smarter than all of us.
I see.
Um,
Okay.
He's got a pet dog named Fluffy, although
Oh boy.
she's a lot bigger than me. But
Mm.
she's very cute. She never lets me pet her though. But he's past the armory if you want to go see if he'll give you the keys.
Okay.
Dog breaking my lockpicking kit. Dog breaking my lockpicking kit. Oh god. Okay. I'm gonna.
Well, I mean, if
I'm
we
gonna
go back, we'd have to sneak past.
No,
them.
no, no, no.
Oh yeah, crazy baby goblins. Yeah, we've
No,
already gone this far.
As I said,
we
stupid
forward.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do we try and distract these two, or hide Bip's eyes?
Well,
is there a spot?
saying that there's two of them.
Well, my thinking is if there's a spot for us to hide, kind of like in a corner somewhere, might be a little bit more difficult for somebody that's 8 feet tall. But we could have Bip say that the lady needs help just quickly with the kids and have the guards run past us maybe and try and help the lady who's being mobbed by all of the younglings.
Bip, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I could do that. Besides, it looks like she really does need help.
Okay.
I think me and Bip are the same height.
She's a little shorter than the average goblin, actually. She's
Okay.
like, if you would imagine the runt of the goblin litter, if that makes any sense. So she kind of tells you guys,
if you stay close to the edge, it'll be harder for them to see you when they run past.
Okay. Should we give her a little bit of a blessing or something so that she's the chances of her being successful are greater?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Oh yeah.
You
that's a good
could
question.
so
Can we offer her a help action?
I mean, so since you are new, I will say playing your instrument in the cave is probably a one-way ticket to them all knowing you are there. And
Yeah, because of acoustics.
yeah, it'll
acoustics is a
echo.
big
It'll
thing.
echo in the cave. But
And bagpipes
you
just
can,
piss people off anyway. So.
yeah, you can
Um,
also give
y-
inspiration through like monologues or speeches. So if you were able to remain quiet, you could potentially give her like a little pep talk that could count as inspiration.
I could totally do that.
The
All right.
bardic pep talk.
The bardic pep talk.
Perfect.
So, is this one of those role playing moments? 'Cause
Yes.
I feel
Yes,
the
it is.
Shakespearean act.
Yes.
Even though, okay, so I don't really have to get on a knee because I'm like 3'6", so
Right,
she's
right.
like about. I walk up to her, look down a little bit because she is a small little goblin. I put my hand on her shoulder. I said, "Little list of the Bip, it is your turn to be the hero. With your courage, you will help us be able to save the princess, open up that tavern that you've always wanted, and have the happiness of everyone in the town, knowing that you not only saved the princess, but you made the best pot roast known in the land.
She
You can
kind
do
of
this."
her eyes kind of well up a little bit. She's like,
Yeah, I could do this.
and she marches forward. She saunters, I will say. Let me roll ahead of time to see how my role playing goes. Nice. Okay, so she rolled an 18 and then a 6 on your inspiration. So you really inspired her. She's like,
Help! Blix needs help. All the goblins, they've gotten out of the pen. They're going crazy.
the two kind of look at each other. They like, ugh, and they start running back where Blix was. So the room is empty, and it worked. She kind of goes back to Ben. She's like, "Oh, did it? Did you see?"
I'm so proud of you. I will let the princess know of your strong will.
Thank you. And as you see, in the corner, there's just like a pile of like copper pieces, silver pieces, maybe some gold, not a huge amount. There's a couple short swords, there's some shields with the king's crest on it, and it's just like a whole bunch of random stuff from things that they have stolen from successful ambushes in the forest.
Okay.
Could I roll a perception check on the room?
Yeah. So, it's a room.
So I had +3. Come on.
Right.
Am I able to roll a perception check on top of it?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Oh,
Very
Oh my
nice.
God.
All right, so from what
I have a
you
+4.
can see, Marleman, is that in the pile of coins and like silver pieces, copper pieces, there's like something like glowing just a little bit. Like you can kind of see a faint glow that looks unnatural.
All right, I'm definitely going over there and using. Oh, hold on, gotta find it. Detect magic.
Okay. Let me see if you have to roll anything, or if you can just. I think you can just do it. Yeah. You sense magic.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over and check it out then.
Okay.
And point it out to Kane here, who seems very interested in glowing things.
Yes. I'll follow, head hung low.
Just say, hey, check it out. It's glowing, man.
I pick it up.
Okay.
Straight to it. Just got
I'm
it.
gonna let you do it.
So, it is glowing blue. I don't know if you guys, maybe, Marleman would, because,
Investigation.
yeah, it's,
I'm gonna
or
say my
actually,
investigation's not.
it would be an Arcana check to see if you have any idea what this might be. Although, I think that Ben has the highest Arcana.
The what?
Okay, sexy bard, what do you make of this?
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm still looking for my. Oh, I've got +2 Arcana.
Yeah, some have -1 and one has +0. So I think that's your best bet at figuring out what it is exactly. So go
Thank
ahead
you.
and roll
Thank
a
you.
d20.
Sexy Barb. I'm gonna use that from now on. All right. Oh, now
Wow.
20.
Yeah.
What's up?
So not only do you know what it is, you've seen something like this before. It's
I've seen this.
it's a blade of cold fire, and whoever wields the blade is resistant to cold or fire damage, and it acts just like any regular blade, but you can deal extra fire and cold damage with it.
What kind of blade?
It's just a short sword, but
Okay.
it has been magically enhanced by the previous owner.
Can I play? Oh, I can use short swords. Sorry, just saying. I didn't realize that.
So which would you prefer then? I'll give you 10 minutes on the bagpipes or the sword.
Bagpipes, you can have the sword.
I'm happy to pass this off to our barbarian. Perhaps you might find some use of this.
I could. I mean, if I can hit, yeah, that would be. Land of
I
blood.
think in your hands it'll be the best. So
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
you guys are conversing, you kind of hear Bip say, "Hey, look, it's Fluffy!" And
No.
down this hallway there is a dire wolf, chained
yeah.
with like a food bowl next to it, but it is very large.
Uh,
Can I try and use animal handling to see if I can befriend it?
You definitely can try.
All right, I'm gonna go and try and befriend the dire wolf.
Okay.
well, can I cast?
All right.
I actually have speak with animals. Can
Yeah.
I use that?
Better.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, before we try anything too rash,
First off, I want to grab the sword and, and to take that before I walk off with a dog.
Okay.
Hi, puppy. Who's a good puppy?
So I grab the sword, and I cast. Do I have to be close to it, or?
I think probably close enough for it to hear you at least. So probably you could speak to it from like 7 feet away.
Okay. All right. Cool. So I walk over, get kind of close-ish to it, and I just say, "Hey, seems like you're having an interesting time locked up in a cave."
Not so bad.
Hmm.
They feed
Cool.
me.
Cool. What do
It's
you
a
like?
girl direwolf.
What do you like to eat?
Meat.
Meat. Hey, I like to eat meat too.
She kind of, her ears like do like one of those dog things. She's like, "Who are you?"
Oh, I'm a friend of the princess.
"Oh, she's with my master right now."
Oh, cool. Are you a friend of the princess too?
"Yeah,
Cool.
she's really nice."
Yeah, she is. So, what's your master doing with the princess right now? Is he keeping her locked up?
"Oh no. They're probably just planning what their next move is."
Oh, they've been working together, haven't they?
"Yeah."
Yeah. Oh, that's so clever of them. Oh, yeah, that's great. I look over my shoulder and I talk to the guys. Does anybody have any meat on them?
I mean,
I
Anybody?
was to say I have rations.
do you think he'll eat the bagpipes?
Yeah.
Jay, no! I didn't take the sword for those.
You know what? Is there any meat in the rations from my pack?
I'm pretty
'Cause
sure there are.
Okay.
Does
Give
the
me-
dog like Bip though?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Maybe we could get Bip to come over there and soothe the beast.
well, yeah. I'd like to just give some of my rations from my pack to the dog.
Okay.
The direwolf. See if
You like kind of hold out your hand a little first, make sure she can smell you, and she like does that thing where she like slowly approaches, and then she decides you're chill and she eats some of it, and she's like, "There's a doggy door."
really.
"Yeah, that's how I get in my master's room."
Huh. You think it would be, big enough? I mean, you're a big puppy, but you think it'd be big enough for somebody like me to get through?
Maybe. You might have to crouch, I don't know. But yeah, they're in there right now.
Cool. Yeah. You know what? You're a good puppers. I like you. All right. Hey, give him some more rations. I like this. I like this dog. This is
I'll
good.
go ahead and give her my rations.
Alright,
Cool.
she just digs in. She's just having a great time.
Cool.
And on the iron gate, from what you can tell, there is in fact like a dog door, but again, she's pretty big, so a medium humanoid might be a little bit of a squeeze, could get in. Ben can definitely get in, so can Bip.
Oh, thanks, DM. Thanks. Just throw me in the door.
Garin, you may have a pretty hard time. But a dire wolf is pretty big, so you may be able to get in that way.
Hey, if I could try and go through this door. I got one spell slot left. I can try and charm the Goblin King.
Well, one of the things I've been curious about, of course, is just what the princess is doing here. We never learned if there was an abduction or if she just went off. And Bip seems to imply that the relationship is not quite what it seems, that these goblins are truly evil, but trying to make do. And we seem to know that the dwarves conquered that city. I don't know. I would be really curious before drawing swords, what we might be able to learn.
Well, I can if she's nose deep in those rations, I can disguise myself as the dire wolf, go through the doggy door, do a little perception, see what's going on, see what I can figure out, and then return and let you guys know what they're talking about at least.
I think that'd be a good idea.
I think I know everything that's going on now. You know, I think that the princess is just working with the hobgoblin to try and like help the goblins in their plight. But if you guys think like let's be more cautious, you know, because I think that this is not going to be like a guns or axes blazing kind of a situation. It's really like okay, I think I know what's going on. Let's just level with each other right now. But if you guys want to do the disguise and go in, we can do that.
I'd be happy with a little bit more information because I imagine this goblin leader's still not going to be happy to see us.
Yeah, especially since we killed like half of his people.
Has been a little awkward.
He doesn't know that, and he doesn't need to know that.
True. We could bring. I mean, on your side, I mean, you were the one that did talk to the dog, and from what you've heard, is very calming. So, I mean, if we brought Bip in and just said, "Hey, we found her in the forest, wanted to bring her back to you." I mean, we could try that, and then if all else fails, I can just try and charm the king because I have one spell slot left. I can either charm or disguise, so we can go in there kind of shielded and be like, "Here, we brought Bit back," and if he loses his mind, I can try and charm him so he cools his mind.
Romance the hobgoblin.
I mean, I'm not against it. I haven't romanced anything lately. So it's really up to you guys. I can either disguise myself or I can charm him if he gets pissed off.
What do you guys think?
I think moving in with Bip will give us a bit of an element of surprise. It's certainly, you know, I doubt he would attack right away. So that I think that's an interesting approach.
I've got a lot of charisma, so I can definitely do my finest act if I need to.
Let's do it. Let's have everyone follow Bip in.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, Bip goes through the doggy door, no issue. Ben, you as well.
Thank you.
Kane and
Thank you.
Marleman, you have to crouch, but you can make it in. Garin, I'm gonna have you make a dexterity saving throw.
God, I hope
Can
he hits his head on the door.
Can I give him vigilant blessing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so hoping he hits his head on the door.
So,
Oh no, wait, that's advantage on the next initiative roll.
you know, that's pretty good, and you have +1. So, yeah, I'll say that you might be sore later. It was pretty tight of a squeeze, but you're able to make it through.
I imagine that cartoonish, like you come like squeezing out and then just like fall
We're
out.
all
And then
playing it
shut
really
the door.
cool, and he's just.
He comes in like a
So-
square and just falls out.
Yeah. In this room, you can see, this is just his room. Like on the far end, there is a hobgoblin and a dwarvish woman dressed very nicely, long black hair, and you can see an orc too. As Bip enters and you all enter, he turns around. He's like, Bip, who do you have? She's like, oh, these are my friends. And he, like, looks at the princess and he looks at all of you. He's like, who are you?
All right, and then I'll step in and be like, "Hey there, Mr. King, Sir Goblin King.
My
We
name's
found
Krug.
her,
So well.
Krug. We found her in the forest with her hiding in a bush with a bunch of her brethren just dead on the ground. We didn't want to leave her, and we asked her where she came from, and she told us that she came from the cave. But we didn't want her to go back to the cave by herself because we didn't want her to get harmed. We wanted to bring her directly to you so that you would know that she was safe."
Deception check. That's a D20.
20?
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Okay. Oh God, here we go. All right, that's
All
not bad.
right, pretty good. You get a +5. All right, he believes you. He looks pretty relieved that Bip is okay, and she runs up and hugs the princess's leg. She's like, the princess then like turns around and looks at you guys, and she's like, "Did my father send you?"
Oh God. He did tell us that you were missing, and we were on a mission to come find you. But when we found Bip, we wanted to bring her back safely, and luckily we found you in the same spot. And we want to know that you're okay.
I'm fine. My father is trying to wipe goblins off the face of the planet. These goblins only steal because my father has given them no choice. He's done this before. He expands his kingdom and then drives out all the natives that live there, releasing vicious propaganda to convince the kingdom they're evil, that they're savages. Take a good look. They're starving. They've got no food and they're being hunted by people hired by my father. Listen to what they have to say. There is, the orc stands, and, he's like, the king wiped out all my people from this continent. My name's Screw. Krug and the Dread-Eye crew have shown me kindness and hospitality I never expected. The king's propaganda is so powerful that the people really do believe that we're all evil and want to hurt them. We just want to live. To exist. Krug then steps forward and is like, my name's Krug. When I was 7, King Rumford pillaged my village. Killed everyone. My mother hid me in the bushes. I had to watch as he raped and killed her. I vowed then and there that he would feel the same pain I felt. So I kidnapped Princess Zephrine. I never wanted to hurt her, and I feel badly about what I've done. I acted out of hate and spite, and didn't think about how that might affect the princess. So I let her go. But she asked me why I did it, and I told her. And she chose to stay.
I step forward and say, Krug, you may not believe this, but your story is not that different from my own. I was not very old when a gang of marauders murdered and my father and took my mother, leaving me an orphan. I had nothing and have been wandering the road ever since. So while I may look like an enemy, I think we can find some common ground. Of course, this does not mean it would be easy for us to move forward from here. And I'd be curious, Princess, what you think we might do from this point forward. We were sent by your father, but clearly what we have learned in the meantime is that things are a little bit more complicated than they once were. And you, my lady, and here I turn toward the dwarvish woman, I'd be very curious to hear from you as well.
Well, my father is never going to stop. He has this thing against anyone who's not a dwarf. Especially if they're a different color. He doesn't understand. And Erobrag means conqueror in Dwarvish. He's literally the conqueror king. I just think that the people need to know that he is not what he seems.
We're trying to figure out how we can stop him, but I mean, he's my father. I obviously don't want to kill him, but he needs to stop hurting people, especially when they don't deserve it.
Teeny tiny problem, and I walk up to the princess and the Goblin King. I've grown up in a lineage of a lot of kings and queens and castles, and actually, my parents, we were jesters, and they are currently in a prison because of a king that did not like other types of people as well. So I understand that. But here's the problem. The king is very upset that you're gone and is basically sending out mercenary parties to kill everything in sight until he sees you again. So you hiding here and making plans with the Goblin King is actually resulting in more death than beforehand when you were actually with the king.
She looks at the rest of you and she's like, "You're not the first party he sent?"
Not to our knowledge, we're not sure how many have been sent out, but we are glad that we were able to find you in a safe and non-violent sort of way so that we could fix the situation before any others would have to be sent.
She looks at Krug and she's like, "I think I need to go back." She kind of takes a look at Bip and she's like, "I didn't want anybody else to be hurt." She kind of thinks for a moment and she's like, "The people would listen to me if somehow we brought proof that goblins aren't vicious as always like they seem. We could somehow convince them that the king is just trying to commit genocide of awful types." She holds her her necklace that has her family crest on it, but it's been cracked a little bit. It's been damaged in whatever experience she's have, and she kind of holds it close to her heart, and she's like, "Maybe if we go and we bring Bip or something and show the people that they're being targeted, that they're not attacking us, they're just trying to fend for themselves, maybe the king will have to step down. I mean, I don't want him to be killed, but I don't want him to continue what he's doing either."
My lady, I noticed that your crest is broken. Would you like me to see if I could fix that?
"You can fix it?"
I may be able to.
She holds it out to you. Your
Mending.
You are able to successfully fix it for her. She looks at you and she looks at it and she is just filled with joy, and she hugs you and thanks you for fixing it for her.
I wink at the bard.
Well, what do you suggest? I mean, I must go back. But what do we do once I'm there? I won't be able to look at my father the same way ever again.
Maybe that's a good thing, because that's how change starts, is by accepting that there's going to be change.
Krug looks at the rest of you and says, "So the king is going to pay you if the princess is returned, correct?"
Aye, that was our deal.
Yes.
I'm in it for the beer. Honestly, I just heard there was going to be beer included, so.
Question.
Yes.
Princess, you said that your father dislikes anyone who is not a dwarf. Is that correct? Or did I not hear you?
He's prejudiced. I mean, he's
So what are the
better with some than others, but goblins, orcs, any kind of race that can be depicted as vicious, he immediately just sends bounties and groups, and has them all killed so he can take over their land for himself.
Gotcha. And a Goliath and a Tiefling wouldn't fall into that category.
I
Vicious.
don't know. I mean, it's not the band of all of one type that's occupying land that he wants for himself, so I can't say. But
Just trying to make sure that we're not going to be walking into a double cross here. We make a deal with the king. We come home with the princess, and then he throws us in jail or something.
as terrible as my father can be, he's not one to take back promises he's made.
Okay.
I know the squire will be very happy to see you. He misses you.
Oh, I miss him too. He's very entertaining.
And your dad won't leave him alone until he sees you again. He's taking out all his rage on the squire.
Her face is just like she's horrified at that. She's like, "All right, we have to go back. I suppose that we make up a story, and we don't know maybe where the goblin hideout is. I escaped, and you found me in the forest, and so you never saw it, so he doesn't know how to get there. I think you get your money, you get your ale, and in the future we can possibly start slowly convincing the people that not all goblins are bad." I mean,
Princess, what if we were to, in this story, find you in the woods, but it was Bip who kept you alive after you had escaped and helped you escape?
I could see that.
And we could bring her back and help her open a tavern to show everyone that goblins aren't bad. In fact, they're pretty darn good cooks.
I think that's a great idea. Bip looks really excited. She looks at Krug and she's like, "Krug, can I have the keys? I made pot roast yesterday and I really want them to try it." And he looks at her and she's just the cutest thing he's ever seen. He gives her the keys. She kind of runs out, and he looks at all of you and he like levels with you guys a little bit. He's like, "I know what it looks like. I know that we steal and we ambush and we probably, I mean, I know that there was a band of my goblins out in the forest today and they probably attacked you, but we just do what we have to do to survive. And I'm sorry."
That's why we're all here.
Sure.
So, in a few minutes, Bip returns with a big bowl of her pot roast and some bowls, and she kind of gives it out to you guys, and it is really good.
Okay.
Does it restore hit points?
Sure. Yeah, it's that good. It's that good.
Yes.
And she, like, as you guys try it, she's, like, leaning in and, like watching your facial expressions closely to see if you like it. And the princess starts to pack up her things. She hugs Gruel the orc, and she hugs Krug, and she tells Krug, she's like, "Don't worry, I won't forget you. We will try our best to help." And she walks out.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Somebody put onions on that pot roast. Whew.
We need to come up with a story so that the goblins don't look like such terrible people. That Bip looks like she's a tiny little hero, and that note is explained so that we aren't, walking into not being able to explain ourselves. But
And as you bring up the note, Bip like looks at it. She's like, she kind of giggles a little bit, and she's like, "That would be Blix."
Who's Blix?
Oh,
That was the
she runs the daycare.
Oh, the crazy lady. Yeah. No.
She's got a way with words.
Yeah, of course she does.
For time's sake, I'll say that you're able to exit with no trouble because Krug travels with you to the mouth of the cave to make sure everything's okay. So if the guards or the if Blix would have given you trouble, she like makes sure everything's okay. As you pass by, the door to the living space that Bip described opens a little bit, and like goblin women and men that have like bloated tummies and they're just really really skinny like watch you as you pass by um, to the mouth of the cave safely.
how many rations do I have in my pack?
You gave one to Fluffy, and as you walked out, Krug gave her a little scratch behind the ears.
Will for extended travel, including jerky, dried fruit, hardtack, and nuts.
Yeah, so you probably gave her the jerky.
Yeah, so I'll give out my dried fruit, the hardtack, and the nuts, and everything like that to whatever, goblin younglings I can.
They are very thankful as you do.
As should we all. We'll be rich enough
I
sooner.
have a day. I have a day of rations in here. Okay, cool. Now I know where I'm looking.
Mm-hmm. So, for time's sake, you managed to get back just fine. As you walk through the city, everyone is overjoyed to see the princess, but they're kind of like freaked out that there's a goblin with you. They don't really understand. A lot of them assume that maybe she's a prisoner that you took. The king's propaganda has been very effective. And what you didn't notice the first time as you walk through the town is there's bounty huntings for goblin heads. There's like news articles about goblins doing terrible things, and just all over the town there's just a whole bunch of just like slandering of goblins. And so as you approach the castle, everyone that watches is like overjoyed to see the princess, like I said, but they are terrified of Bib.
And can I say that, like, as we're actually going into the city, I have Bip up on my shoulders, and we're all like kind of trying to make like a big scene of like, dude, she's the one that actually saved the princess.
Yeah.
And so that it's kind of like as we're going, we're making like a commotion, trying to be like, look, a goblin actually saved the princess, kind of a thing. To like,
I'm
Sure.
totally playing my bagpipes in a polite manner right now.
Perfect.
hard work.
We are valiantly marching with my bagpipes playing in the wind.
Oh boy.
So, the queen doesn't, she doesn't care about being calm and collected. She just runs out and hugs her daughter. She looks at all of you and she says, "Thank you so much." And then she notices Bip and she's like, That's a goblin." And Princess Zephrine looks at her and she's like, "I know, Mom. She saved me." The queen looks a little confused and she's like, but your father." And she like puts her hand on her mom's shoulder and she's like, "We need to talk." And they start walking up towards the castle and she's like, "Please come to see the king." The guards let you through, but they are very Bip is very weird to them. They're like, "I don't understand why she's not chained. She's on someone's shoulders. I don't understand." Bip doesn't really, she doesn't have great insight, so she's just enjoying the views of the castle on your shoulders, and she doesn't really know, what's happening. The queen kind of, like, when they get into the courtyard, she goes up to Bip and she starts to ask her some questions and is quickly won over by Bip because she's so cute. Um, and Princess Zephrine relays the real story to the queen because she trusts her, and she looks horrified. She looks at the rest of you and she kind of like needs to sit down a little bit, and she sits on the steps and she just needs to recover from this news, and she feels awful about what has happened and that she hasn't been able to catch it and that she was complicit in the death of all of these people. And she calls the two guards from earlier over and whispers something in their ear before they go get the king. And as he comes out, he is drunk, clearly, and he is a little violent looking. He sees Bip, and there's like this something in his eyes that just like inflame, and he points at her and he starts yelling, and the queen and the princess are like telling him he needs to calm down. He kind of throws them off of her, and he's like looking at all of you and he's like, "What's all this then?"
All right. Well, I haven't got to use it yet, so I'm going to. I'm going to try and charm him. I'm going to try and charm the drunk dwarf king.
Okay.
We're going to go with seduce. All right. This is.
So that's a wisdom
Not
saving
seducing.
throw.
I am charming. I'm trying to get him on our good side so he doesn't drunk kill.
I dropped my die. Let's see.
That means 0, right?
And what did he need to get?
Was that with disadvantage because he's drunk?
I got wisdom 13 and whatever that means on my side.
All right, well, he got a 12. So, make your case.
Listen, I know you're intoxicated and I wish that I was too, but you need to understand that that little creature hanging out on that big old guy with the big sword is the reason that she is here safe. Yes, we brought her back, but because of that little itty bitty goblin up there, she is here. And if you rage out and hurt that little itty bitty goblin, you're going to have to deal with those two lovely ladies of yours. And I don't think you want to piss off the queen, and you just got your daughter back, and I don't think you want her to hate you for the rest of your life.
That last part of what she said hits him pretty hard, and Zephrine kind of gets an idea that it's some sort of spell. So she's like, "Yeah, Dad, this is Bip. She saved me. She was actually hoping, she could open a tavern in town." And the spell is, like, clearly effective, and he's like, "Right then, and he, like, goes up and he kind of extends his hand to Bip and shakes it. He's like, let's talk business." And for time's sake, I will say that your charming of the king is at least as effective as it needs to be for how long it lasts. It's enough time for him to make out the deeds of a building to Bip for her tavern. And now the queen and the guards all know the true story. So his like informer, or the person that his advisor from the future, he makes a promise to you guys that from now on he will try his best to keep the king under control and not expand into the forest any farther. But if there is a future issue, then they will call you. And Bip is very happy and institutes a group hug. That is a nat 20 for group hug, ladies and gentlemen. And the king gives you your gold. You were going to get 50 gold each for rescuing the princess, but since he is charmed, you get 100 gold each.
Woohoo! See? Seducing the guy with the big beard. Got you.
Perfect. So that is my one shot.
That's great.
Well, thank you, yes.
That was
Bravo.
great. Thank you
That was
guys
fun.
so much. Thank you, everyone who joined us. We're going to go ahead and do that.